Hi, this is BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com, where I'm promoting polite patriotism to stop people from being turned into rude, sketchy zombies and making more, who make more, who make more, and instead be nice, polite ladies and gentlemen, straight or LGBT, whatever, so that you can earn respect, mind your business, or look at and talk to and listen to each other and learn more about each other. And as part of that, you can communicate well offline about what you learn online as proud nationalists against globalism. So lots of positives, and I'll get into that as well. The most important thing when it comes to the manforwars.com efforts is to financially support the manforwars.com efforts. As the only person I know working on this, if I am successful, then these ideas will be successful. And if not, then who the hell knows? And that's basically where it stands. So check out manforwars.com for more on that. But this video is called manforwars.com, Lessons Learned from Battling 5,000 Zombies on Remembrance Day. And so on Remembrance Day, Sunday, November 11th, 2018, I was thinking of all the, I'm a Canadian in Toronto, Canada, and I was thinking of all the men in particular. I'm a guy's guy, good for guys and girls and kids, but you know, men should be doing this stuff. I don't want to put that on women necessarily, although many women obviously have done lots of great stuff in history as well. But I was thinking about all the men before me who fought and died to make this a great country. Wars might have been some BS here and there, but you know, many of them were doing the right thing, or within the context of what they knew were doing the right thing, were being heroic. And I was thinking of all the guys out there, say 100 years ago. It's the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I in 1918. And I'm thinking, in World War I, there were some guys just like me, Canadian guys, that were, fighting in World War I. And they were, in some godforsaken, war-torn country in Europe. And they were in some hole in the ground where, they were in a trench or whatever. It was all muddy and maybe it was rainy and it got wet. And they were shooting at people, who they couldn't see, who were shooting back at them, and they had to stay in these trenches for, days on end, right? And carefully use their rations and maybe crap their pants and get dysentery and cholera and, horrible, horrible experiences. So I'm thinking, all right, so to promote polite patriotism, which I do at manforwars.com. I've done a lot of stuff on my own, traditional vlogs, or in public, showing exactly what's happening. So no BS, whether you say it's happening or not. It's 100% proof over and over again. And I thought, you know what? It's Remembrance Day. And as a proud, polite, patriotic, conservative Canadian nationalist, I'm going to go to the Eaton Centre in downtown Toronto, Canada. And I'll take a little walk around. And I walked around the top floor, and then I found a little place to sit, and I set up my laptop and my webcam, and you can see the raw footage of those videos at manforwars.com on my BitChute channel or on my new YouTube channel, because the last one was deleted because I'm doing a good job, and the establishment hates that, right? And you can look at a video on that as well. But I walked around, and I typically keep something with me. It could be a newspaper, it could be a flyer, it could be a manforwars.com sign. Because I feel bad, for people, turning into zombies, who turn each other, who just can't be near each other comfortably, and then prefer to wander around and try and make more zombies, because that's what zombies are more comfortable with. Just like in the movies and TV shows, where, you see zombies kind of near each other, just kind of quiet, uncomfortable, annoying each other a little bit. And then when there's a chance for them to attack and try and make more zombies and run at people and whatever, that's when they get super excited, right? So I'm walking around the Eaton Centre a couple of times looking for a place to sit, and I didn't want to be too obnoxious. But as people are zombieing towards me, I'm holding up flyer here, holding up Man for Wars sign there, and typically I flip it around inside because I don't want to be advertising in some place where I shouldn't. I just use it for a little self-defense to make sure I don't lose my self-respect and be some piece of crap for myself or anyone else to deal with, which is what happens when you lose self-respect. So walked around a couple of times, avoiding this person running at people who like to bother people who don't like it until you don't like them. If you don't let them do that, then they won't like you. But if you do let them do that, you won't like each other. And instead of hanging out and getting along and looking at and talking to each other, you'll just wander around and prefer to try and make more zombies because you're more comfortable making zombies than you are acting like humans with each other, right? So I'm walking around, I'm holding this thing here, the flyer here, holding the sign here, avoiding people running at, spazzing out, trying to make more zombies, do a couple of rounds, and then I sit down And then I break up my laptop, my 17-inch laptop, with my Logitech webcam, and I set it up so that my face is in a little corner, and there's people in the background, and you can literally see how 5,000 people, maybe not all of them, but a substantial portion of them, react to me being there, to what I'm saying, and so on, right? And and I've done experiments where I do nothing because I want to make sure it's not me, and I just do nothing except for avoid them, and then zombies rush and rush and rush, and like lying bitches begging to be broken, pretend sketchy girlfriends acting stupid who'd rather be ignored than bitchy with a wimp, they get off on being ignored when you do nothing. So you just do nothing, and ignoring people acting rude puts you in a good mood. You may not believe that, but if you think about it, especially as a Canadian, world famous for being nice and polite, but generally speaking anywhere in the world, think of what happens when a telemarketer calls you. When a telemarketer calls you and you get on the phone, and if they're a nice telemarketer, no problem, I've worked in sales, I understand, it's okay. But if they're a rude telemarketer trying to hustle you, bully you, push you, and then you say to them, hey, take me off your list, get a better job, and never call again. Do you understand that? Yes, sir. Good. Click. Hang up. You're not happy they called necessarily. You're not hoping it happens. But because there was a chance to lose self-respect as part of that exchange, and you managed to keep it, that puts you in a good mood. So, ignoring it, good mood, doing whatever, or ignoring it, good mood, louder and prouder and more confident as a result of that process. And you can watch the video and you can see that happening. It could even be to my detriment because it just artificially inflates your ego. It makes you happier than you should be, especially when it's a lot of people acting rude and you ignore it, and it puts you in a really, really good mood. And it's not earned. It's not stable. It can even be manic depressive because you feel so good, but you didn't do anything to feel good. You just avoided someone doing something stupid or acting stupid. Right? So it's not like you worked hard on this and you made this and that puts you in a good mood, or you did something nice for someone, or they did something nice for you and that puts you in a good mood. You simply avoided somebody acting stupid and bothering people, and that puts you in a good mood. So it's a cheap high, but it's an effective high, like a sugar high or a caffeine high or whatever. So, basically, and that's why this video is called manforwars.com, Lessons Learned Battling 5,000 Zombies on Remembrance Day. Because on Remembrance Day, around, say, 3 to 4:30-ish p.m. or so, I was at the Eaton Center, and I was chilling. And you can just watch the video. You don't have to see all of it. People hate this stuff. That's why you have to get worked up and force people to look at you, look, rude and sketchy or ugly and stressful and confusing, because people hate to see it. So if you hate to see it in 3D, you might not like seeing it in 2D either, but there might be some valuable stuff there for you to skim through and look through if you want, or I can parse some of that in more traditional vlogs like this. But you can see it. It's fine. I was even wearing the same shirt and the same tie, which you might recognize, just to sort of confirm that, while I had sunglasses on and my toque pulled down and something to hide my vision from people trying to spaz out and force you to put up with them and try to act like zombies, making more rude, sketchy zombies. So, from around 3-ish to 4:35-ish p.m., 4:30-ish p.m. I was there, and then towards the end of that exchange, as I was starting another video, just about 7 minutes into it, a couple of security people came over, security guy, security girl, and they know I'm cool. What I'm saying, how I act, they know I'm cool. It's kind of like when the cops show up and they have to talk to Tommy Robinson in the UK, TommyRobinson.online, legendary British activist against the radical migrant rape of children in England, and a warning to the rest of the world. And so you can look up Tommy Robinson for more. But when the cops approach Tommy Robinson, they're not on the, uh-oh, this guy's a sketchy crackhead or meth head, we got to worry about him. He's like, no, this is a good guy. Our job is just to talk to him, maybe arrest him, throw him in a paddy wagon, but he's not going to be a jerk. We know that. So they're not on guard. What's going to happen? So, so a male security guard and a female security guard came over to me, and they said, hey, how you doing? You okay? And this is on video, before I shut it off and then packed up and left. But they came over, hey, how you doing? You all right? I said, yeah, I'm fine. What's up? There's people bothering people here. I don't want people bothering people. You don't want people bothering people. Your job is security at this mall. And 5-10 years ago, one rude, sketchy person in the mall, 5-10 minutes gone. Now with 5,000, because they keep making more zombies who make more zombies, it's just kind of whatever, right? So the male security guard was like, I was like, no, it's fine. There's people acting rude here in the mall. You have cameras, you can see that. I've got a camera if you want. You can see my camera footage of it. And I'm trying to stop that. I know your job is to stop that. So, what's up? And so I was straight up with him, and the security guards were straight up with me at that time, initially, because people can still be cool if they really try hard. If they really want something, they can be cool. But then when they don't, they just want to force you to put up with them and make you both uncomfortable, and then you run away from each other and try and make more zombies, right? So, but if they really want to be cool, then people can still, sometimes they really want something. They can still, well, okay, I won't try and force you to put up with me. I'll actually try and be cool, make sure you're cool, make sure we're cool. So stocky, well-built, solidly built, worked out built, white security guard guy, and average, size security guard girl. They came over, and I said, yeah, man, there's people here acting rude. You don't want that, or people bothering people. You don't want that. I don't want that. So what's up? What's your concern? I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't want to mess with you. I don't want to screw up your job. I hate bothering people. I feel really bad anytime I bother people. I make sure I apologize if I bother people and it's my fault. And then it's soon, forgiven and forgotten, and I feel self-respect and other people feel respected, as opposed to bothering people and not apologizing, in which case you feel like crap, they feel like crap, and you treat each other like crap, and then you don't do much with each other except for more crap, right? So, so the security guard, the guy said, he came over, and the two of them came over, a guy and a girl, and they were just chilling in front of me, and they got my attention. And they said, well, we've had a couple of complaints, you're being a little bit loud, right? And this is a problem that I've had, and I try not to be too loud in these situations. But the problem is, the more self-respect you have, the more louder and prouder and confident you get, as opposed to the more sheepish and insecure and uncomfortable you get if you have less self-respect. So just naturally, with people acting rude and you avoid it, puts you in a good mood. That was some bull crap. I'm glad I ignored and forgot about it. Feel much better. That naturally raises your voice. That naturally raises your confidence levels. And so you can be at fault. And this has happened a couple of times with me, and I've apologized for it. I'm so sorry about that, right? I don't want to bother anybody. I really want to comment on what's going on at a normal level and have people around kind of react to that if they want or ignore me. I don't target people. I don't bother people. I'm not paying attention to people acting rude. On the rare occasion that I avoid somebody and they're not worked up and bothering people, as happens sometimes, like it happened just yesterday when I was walking home from the mall. I was, avoid this person, avoid that person. And then there was a guy to my left, and I kind of instinctively avoided him. And then I got the sense, no, wait a minute. He and another guy with him, and there's a couple of guys, maybe 5, 6 guys there, he wasn't trying to bother me. He was just nearby with a what's up. So I was like, oop, I put down the sign. I looked over, I'm like, oh, how you doing, man? Hey, how's it going? Sorry about that. I apologized for avoiding saying hello to this guy near me because he was a nice, polite Canadian man, right? And this was near Queen Street West and just south of Queen Street West and on the west side of Jarvis, or Queen Street East and the west side of Jarvis. Anyway, so in downtown Toronto, Canada. My point in all this, getting back to the security guard and the girl, is, the guy said, well, you're being a little bit, loud. We've gotten a couple of complaints. And I said, okay, no problem, man. Whatever you need, I'm totally cool. Do you want me to keep it down? Do you want me to pack up? Whatever. And he's like, yeah, you can keep it down a bit. And then he started acting rude and sketchy. So I went, ugh, gross. And I ignored him. And I was like, ugh, great. You're going to tell me not to bother people and you're going to bother me? What kind of bull crap is that, right? It's the environment. People making each other into zombies, whatever. But again, it's just crap, right? I don't want to mess with them, but I don't want to be messed with. So, gone. So I started ignoring that guy. And then I turned to the girl and I said, all right, ma'am, what would you like? Would you like me to keep it down? Would you like me to pack it up, leave? She goes, yeah, maybe if you could just take it somewhere else. And she tried to be a nice girl with me as opposed to mean, rude security girl. She didn't tell I'm a good guy, even though I just ignored that guy acting douchey, right? So she just said, yeah, if you wouldn't mind, just, taking it somewhere else. I said, no problem at all. I don't want to mess with you, whatever. And then she started acting rude and sketchy. Well, looking at her coworkers, I was like, crap. All right, so you're both now bothering me. Trying to tell me not to bother people, now you're bothering me? Screw this. So I just casually muttered, look, I don't care. If you want to tell me not to bother people and you want to bother me, screw that. I'll be cool as shit for the next security guard or cop or human being I run into by not, paying attention to that crap and putting up with and acting like that, right? And so, gone. So those two, they were still nearby. They make sure I was cool, right? But I just gone, ignored them. Guy gone, girl gone. And that was it. And then I packed up my laptop and I looked at the webcam. BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com. Hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon. Click, shut it down. Click, packed it away. Put on headphones. Went to the nearest exit in the mall to make sure I left and I wasn't going to bother them and nobody was going to worry about me and I wasn't going to bother anybody and I was doing the best I could to make sure that I wasn't a concern in the future or I wasn't going to be mad at them or something. It's none of that crap. I just packed up, left, headphones on. I could sense they were behind me and they wanted to be annoying and get my attention. I said, screw you guys. I'm out of here. I don't need this shit, right? I don't mind if you want to stop people from bothering people. If you want to bother me while trying to do that, well, screw you. Right? I don't want to mess with you, but I don't want to be messed with. You're nothing. No respect, no problem, no solution, nobody there. No big deal, right? So I left the mall. Now, that's a little prelude to what happened, and that's why this video is called manforwars.com. Lessons learned battling 5,000 zombies on Remembrance Day. So just so you know, you set up that framework. Now, you don't have to look at that crap. Nobody wants to see people look ugly, stressful, and confusing and spaz out and bother them, like pretend lying, bitchy, sketchy girlfriends. Guys, girls, kids, everyone making everyone put up with an act like that, right? But if you want to, it's there. Right? You can see it, right? And lying bitches begging to be broken. Get off and be ignored than act bitchy with a wimp and some piece of crap who puts up with you being a piece of crap, so you're both pieces of crap, right? So if you want, you can take a look at that. If not, I'm going to parse some of the lessons I learned from that experience. And, you know, they're lessons I've learned before. So, and again, you can financially support the manforwars.com efforts. I got PayPal and direct deposit donation links below. Otherwise, as a result of this, I'm relatively more isolated because, you know, it's more rude now. Everything is backwards. In Canada, you used to be able to say to somebody, hey, calm down. Don't act rude. Go for a walk. What are you looking at? You know, why are you reaching? Why you make me nervous? Don't do that. Go for a walk. Cool off. Come back. Bros be tripping sometimes. Hoes be tripping sometimes. Whatever. Right? You used to be able to say that. You know, play Canadian. Say, don't be rude. You know, go get the hell out of here. Go take a walk. Calm down. And come back when you're not a mess messing us up. Right? So that used to be perfectly normal. Now, it's seen as more rude to tell people not to be rude than it is to act rude and bother people. So if someone's bothering people, then you know, that's okay. You're supposed to put up with an act like that or be a little uncomfortable or near them or whatever. But if you say, hey, they shouldn't be rude, then you're the rude one. And that happens to be me. And I'm not rude. I'm the nicest guy you'll meet. I mean, I could be a real jerk. Part big softy, part stone cold killer. But but if the plan is to be nice, then the plan's to be nice. If the plan's not, then fine. Fuck off, right? So for example, excuse me. As it gets worse and worse, and more people are turning into sketchy zombies, making more sketchy zombies, I'm like cool with like, hey, I'll still be cool. I'll just ignore that. They're not making life easier for us. They're not letting us be nice to each other and look at and talk to each other. So I don't care. It's nothing, right? But but doing that compromises people who are supposed to put up with an act like that. So, you know, that makes it tricky. So, for example, I go to a house party, a good friend of mine, known for years, check out his house parties once in a while, and I go there, and there's a few people there, the kitchen or whatever, it's building up a little bit, relatively small, friendly house party. I've been to them on and off for years. But as this gets worse and worse, and people get more and more aggressive and zombie-like, it becomes harder and harder to, you know, be cool. You know, before, they get embarrassed, and they usually chill out a bit, but now it's like, screw that, this is what I do, you know. And so, I go to this house party, and I walk in, and, you know, yeah, meet a couple of people, and I'm talking to this nice girl, and she's smiling. I'm not a jealous, bitchy, ugly guy. I'm nice to a nice girl. I'm just happy I'm talking to a nice girl, so she's smiling, and her eyes are twinkling, and she's happy. Meet a couple of other girls there. They're cool. Meet a couple other guys. Cool. Hey, how's it going, man? And the guys are like, what? We're not messing with each other? Oh, cool. The guys are standing tall and straight. And, hey, man, I like your hat, man. It looks pretty cool. Hey, cool, thanks, man. And we're straight up, not messing with each other. So it's not like you can't trust what I'm saying. You can't trust what we're saying. Like what you're saying doesn't mean shit because you're not polite, not nice. So it's not like you can't. So I'm getting along with the girls. They're feeling safe and special with a cool guy, and the guys are feeling cool. Their shoulders back, chest out, heads up. Yeah, what's up, man? We're cool guys, right? And so early, very, very early, shortly after I got there, I was chatting with this girl, and then somebody nearby started acting rude and sketchy, spaz out, bother us while I'm having a nice conversation with this girl. So I just held up something, newspaper here, and just gone, right? And then, my buddy was like, hey, what's going on? I was, oh, somebody's acting rude and sketchy, trying to bother us while we're getting along. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. If they want to, it's fine. I don't care. They really want to do it. They keep going. I don't care. Right? But we're getting on. I'm having a nice conversation with this person, and they're trying to annoy us. So, it's fine. If they can't help it, they can't help it. If they're mentally ill or mentally retarded or brainwashed or just a bitchy liar, bully, whatever, I don't care. It's nothing. It's gone. Let's get back to having a good time with this person, right? And it's been cool for years, but now it's getting harder and harder as the zombification gets more and more normal. And so it's kind of like, so, they were that, and people were quiet. This other girl had a look on her face like, this crap. She was doing some stuff in the kitchen trying to, make some food or whatever. She was just like, and I looked at her, and because she looked so miserable, and she was vulnerable. She wasn't annoying. She was vulnerable. She looked miserable and vulnerable, so I smiled. Sorry, I know. Sucks, girl. I don't want to put this on you. I'm sorry you're unhappy about this, and blah, blah, blah. But that's literally just what happened, right? So then, and I know the game. I don't mind, right? Like I know the game. I don't like bothering people or being bothered. And if not bothering people and not being bothered, pisses off people and that bothers them, then fine. I'm gone, right? So I connected with my buddy a little bit. We caught up for a couple minutes. I was like, look, man, it is what it is. I keep my self-respect. It's all good. We're all good. And he looked at me and he was like, are you okay? He looked me in the eyes. And I was like, look me in the eyes. Straight up. Straight up. Do I look messed up to you? Because he thought, here we go. This is this embarrassing crap we're not supposed to talk about. So he just checked me and he went, yo, are you cool? I'm like, straight up. Look me in the eyes. See? Hands aren't shaking. Man to man. Not lying to you. Not messing with you. Don't want to be messed with. So I'm cool. Right? And he goes, yeah, that's fine, I guess. You seem fine. I'm so fine. But we connected briefly. I said, look, man, I'm out of here. I got some stuff to do. Don't worry about it. And I left the house party. Right? Now, the girls I was getting along with, great. They were happy. They're another cool guy at the party. Whatever. Guys, cool. Another cool guy at the party. Help them feel more confident. But because that sketchy person, sketchy girl, could have been anybody, sketchy anybody, but because they insisted on bothering us while we were nice to each other, and I insisted on ignoring that so we can continue to be nice to each other, I'm the bad guy. So, gone. Don't worry. Go ahead. Make each other quiet and uncomfortable. And you'll have little groups, and that little group with more sketchy people will make each other quiet and uncomfortable. And that group with less sketchy people will get along with each other. And then the quiet, uncomfortable group will break up, and they'll come over. And some of those sketchy people will screw up the other group and make them quiet and uncomfortable. And that'll keep going at the house party, right? So I'm like, fine, gone. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I'm not upset. Not nothing. Great to see you. Great to connect. We're still cool. Just is what it is. Gone. Right? And so as that process continues, instead of working, at Office X, go more blue collar. And then blue collar environment gets all screwed up, go more individual isolated work, outside. And then as that gets all screwed up, I randomly work outside for a few clients with a few jobs, and otherwise I work from home and I do stuff from home from the home office, right? And even when I go outside and I just keep my self-respect or whatever, like I did some groceries earlier today, and somebody's bothering people, ignore it, explain, zombie thing, don't want to get involved, blah, blah, blah. And the woman there, who was, ringing up the groceries, she's like, all right, cool, that's fine. Just like everybody, almost everybody else, right? Some people bring up something, but then they're just more uncomfortable because they brought it up, right? But this, most people just know the deal. Most Canadians instinctively in Toronto know the deal. They're like, oh, okay, so you're not someone who's into bothering people or being bothered. That's cool. That means I don't have to worry about it. So I can take a break from it with you. I can be nice to you. You can be nice to me. We can at least respect each other, possibly put each other in a good mood or at least a better mood, and then we can keep it moving, right? And that's what I said. Just ignore this guy in front of me. Ignore this, sketchy person behind me. You want to bother people. Don't normally get along with people. Happier bothering people like a zombie than being uncomfortable sitting near people and looking at and talking to each other because we don't respect each other. So why, right? So avoid this person here front. Avoid this person behind. Get to the cashier lady, and I present myself as a nice, polite Canadian gentleman. And this is a middle-aged-ish woman. The middle-aged white lady there ringing up the groceries. And I said, hey, good morning. She goes, oh, morning, whatever. And I said, don't worry, I'm not going to trouble you. You've got a tough job. You deal with a lot of people. I appreciate your time. It's all good, right? So she was like, relaxed. And we had a nice, pleasant little exchange. She rung up my groceries. I gave her some money. She gave me my change. I said, have a good day. She said, you too. And that's as opposed to, the other guy who was worked up trying to bother me, bother other people. And I was like, nothing he says or does means anything. It's all garbage, right? Because hey, good morning. You don't really mean that. You just want to bother me. You don't say good morning like, I hope you have a good morning. You just want to bother people. So it doesn't mean crap, right? Whereas if if you're polite, then it can mean something, right? So anyway, so I had a genuine exchange with this lady, and then avoid this person, avoid that person, and then packed up my groceries and left, right? So typically people don't bring it up. I was at another place dealing with a young lady in her early 20s, just a tiny, cute little thing. And, I was avoiding this person, avoiding that person, and she got the sense that I wasn't going to make her uncomfortable, and she didn't have to make me uncomfortable. And so she was like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, some sketchy person's bothering strangers. They don't care what people are doing. I just want to focus on what we're doing, get it done, be a nice person with a nice person, and then get on with my day. So if that's okay with you. And then she was like, whoa, what are you talking about? This is kind of weird. I was like, look, just don't bring this up. All right? I don't want to mention it. I don't want to put this on you, young lady. This is none of your business. Let's just focus on what we have to do. All right? God damn it. It's a girl. I don't want to put this crap on you. I got mad at her. And because I got really upset at her, thinking I'm trying to make her uncomfortable or put this garbage on her to deal with, because I got really mad at her. She got really happy and shy and cute, and she was like, well. And so she was sweet, and she was shy and cute and friendly. And I was really pissed off. She was calling me out. I was like, just drop it. Forget it. Right? Let's just get along, and let's just finish this, okay? And so she was, shy and cute and happy because I got really mad at her for a good reason. And then so she was fine. And so, bought this and that, said goodbye and left, right? But typically people don't bring it up. They typically just understand, okay, so you're just avoiding some sketchy person bothering strangers, not lose self-respect, not take anybody else's. And when you show up, you're not going to be a sketchy person bothering strangers. So we can be at least cool and we can respect each other and we can feel better. So that's typically how things go when it comes to that. So I get much more isolated. And I get much less effective, and it costs me family and friends and money, but not self-respect or a good mood or the ability to help other people have self-respect and be in a good mood. So that's why I say it's incredibly important to financially support the manforwars.com efforts and pass them on if you'd like. Otherwise, I'm a moron. I'm an idiot if I spend too much time on this crap. I'm an idiot. I'm wasting my time. Nobody gives a crap. Whatever, right? But because I can do something as a Canadian man, and remember, again, this was on Remembrance Day, November 11th, 2018, at the Eaton Centre is where this took place. Because I'm a Canadian man and I can do something, if I don't do anything, then I'm a fucking pussy. So I can't do too much, because if I do too much, I'm an idiot. I'm wasting my time, wasting my life. I'm bothering people about this crap who are bothering each other, and they don't give a crap or care to do anything about it, right? So I'm a moron. But if I don't do anything, then I'm a fucking pussy, right? So I'm kind of, stuck between whatever, right? So I'm focusing less and less on this stuff. unless I get paid more and more for it, because I did a lot about it. I got a lot of proof. I got a lot of stuff done. I proved what I could do and what is acceptable in the public. I've got a couple of million people on video, especially from January 2017 through to July 1st, 2018, pretty consistently. And I basically, accidentally created Canadian Fight Club, which is basically like, look, see all the stuff that you can't talk about? You hear me talking about it? You see what the guys are doing? You see what the girls are doing? You see how they react? Exactly, right? So some guys get together. They respect each other more than normal, like in the movie Fight Club. Because in the movie Fight Club, it's the same thing. Work, here at the restaurant or at the office. Yeah, weak, lying, crumpled, bitchy pussy man. Yeah, weak, lying, crumpled, bitchy, sketchy pussy man. No, don't worry. Just keep your head down. You know how it is. Life struggle, life suffering. But then some guys who could respect each other more than it was normal to in that environment got together privately, and they get some stuff done for everyone, right? So some guys get together and like, wait a second, you're not going to mess with me? No. Not going to mess with you? No. So you don't have to be, rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy, weak, crumpled pussy man? No. Oh, fucking hey. All right, man, what's up? No, what's up? It's all good. We don't have to be pussies. We don't have to be rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy pussies or liars. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, what's up? Straight up. There's no girls around here. So to make sure we take the edge off what we're saying or doing, or be a little softer or be a little nicer or whatever, we just get into it, right? And then get everybody the hell else out of it, right? So, that's an option. And I can go on and on about more metrics when it comes to that. But so I basically accidentally created Canadian Fight Club in the same way of sort of being one guy, here who's super polite Canadian, doesn't bring up anything, doesn't talk about anything, just cool, nice, tries to be a little conservative, with people, and then the other side, and that's the sort of, Edward Norton side, and then the Brad Pitt side is that, you stupid zombies, knock this off, you're gonna fuck everything up, what the fuck you doing? Lying bitches begging to be broken, you really want to kick my ass, because I won't look at your ass? Motherfucker, let's get into this! And they're yelling at it, guys, right? But the same guy doing that, even at the Tim Hortons, when he gets to the front of the line at the Tim Hortons, the girl there is super nice, knows I'm a polite, confident, capable guy and not on some bullshit, where the guy's really cool, right? So people are really cool, right? So there's the two sides. There's the Edward Norton kind of side. Yep, no problem, just quiet, polite, Canadian man, hope I don't screw up with you, make you uncomfortable, little conservative in what I say and do, like light mayonnaise, nothing to worry about, whatever. And then the other side is the, men, we're getting fucked with. We gotta fuck with people fucking with us, or we're fucked. Fucking got it? And that's the other side, right? So I accidentally created Canadian Fight Club as part of that process, at least metaphorically. And so, guys can do that. And the other option, because Fight Club came out in 1999, if you flip it upside down, it's 666. Now, that may or may not mean something. But the other movie that came out in 1999 is The Matrix, starring Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, etc., right? Classic movie, take the red pill, and get out of the Matrix, or take the blue pill, stay in the Matrix, or whatever, right? If you haven't seen these movies, definitely watch these movies, and definitely help other people watch these movies so they have an understanding. But as part of my broader understanding of things, the bad people in charge at the top, the super rich, evil people, they're satanic. And as part of their deal with Satan, they have to try and let people know what their plans are. And they have to let people know what their plans are in some way. Not exactly send everybody a text or whatever, but they have to allegorically let people know what they're up to, because if they do that and they give people a chance to escape from that, then if people don't escape from that, then they can go, aha, got you, and they get good, bad karma from the devil, whereas Satan says, well, you let them know, and those people still chose evil. Right? So in 1999, two movies came out, Fight Club and The Matrix. And part of this is Fight Club versus The Matrix, because in Fight Club, some guys got together, didn't mess with each other, could look at, talk to, listen to each other, punch each other in the face if they felt like it, or get more stuff done for everyone, which is also a significant part of that movie when it comes to their revolutionary activities. I'm not saying I agree with every single thing in that movie, but the general principle is pretty sound, right? And other groups of men do this too. The Masons are a group of men that do this. They get together, no chicks around to be a little softer with, take the edge off, don't say this, don't do that, talk around things instead of about things, which is all fine. I like girls, I have no problem with that. But, you know, when they're around, sometimes you can compromise that. Not that there aren't some great female patriots out there, but I'm not going to get my manties in a bunch or anyone's panties in a bunch, because this is about what's best for most people. So chicks want to scrap, go for it. Chicks want to, you know, be happy with guys who can scrap, go for it. It's all good. Guys all want to be happy they can scrap, fantastic. Some chicks want to scrap too, fantastic. But still, if guys get together and there's no girls around, they help each other feel more confident, then they can work better together than taking the edge off for girls. Even me, I don't want to be on some serious hardcore conspiracy shit with some chicks around. Even the ones that are into it, I still want the male-female double standard, confident masculine strength, feminine vulnerability to preserve that, even if they're hardcore conspiracy chicks. You know, even then, right? I'd still rather mix it up with, you know, Rottweilers at each other, as opposed to a cute poodle comes along, cute poodle comes like, hey guys, what are you up to? Hey, how's it going? Oh, we were just yelling at each other. What's going on? You know? So that's Fight Club versus The Matrix, which also came out in 1999. And The Matrix was where people were basically trapped in the late 20th century, you know, in their minds as part of a computer program. And then they were in little pods. So they basically lived on the internet. They lived on the internet trapped in the late 20th century. And it was preferable to live on the internet because the outside world was so crappy, right? People turning into zombies, Skynet taking over, you know, robots, artificial intelligence, blah, 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 weather horrible, all this other crap, right? So basically people were trapped in the late 20th century on the internet, and the same thing is happening now with, you know, retro culture, and you know, remaking all your old movies again. Hey, you're 48 years old. What did you like when you're 8 years old? Comic books. Here you go. Here's 10 comic book movies a year. Think like you're an 8-year-old again. Remember how cool life was? Remember how cool the 80s were? Remember how cool the 90s were? Yeah, the late 20th century was a great time to be alive. What about the future? Oh, future's horrible. Who knows what'll happen? Climate change will kill us all. Terrorism will kill us all. Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to retire. Our RSPs won't be there. Our kids are going to have a worse standard of living than we did. Oh, we're running out of resources. All this crap, right? Which is all bullshit, right? With technology and resources and ingenuity and hope and optimism and proud nationalism and patriotism versus rude, lying, bitchy globalism, we can have a fantastic future. We can look forward to having a fantastic future. That's great. We can work on a fantastic future. That's great. And we can probably get it. That's great, right? So that's on the more patriotic and especially conservative nationalist side, as opposed to the radical left-controlled liberal side, where it's more, oh yeah, think back, whatever, don't say anything, don't do anything, blah, 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 right? So we're being trapped in the late 20th century now, and if you see the rise in video games and video game culture, people working their asses off on artificial worlds online, as opposed to doing anything about the real one. That sort of thing is being encouraged. So in the next few years, it's entirely possible that if the Fight Club idea of guys respecting each other and others and getting along and communicating well and doing more for where they live, if that doesn't work, then it could be entirely possible that in the next few years you get so depressed and so stressed by what's going on and by how people are treating each other that you go, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to take a chip in my head and live on the internet. I'll live in Call of Duty. I'll live in, Fortnite. I'll live in this video game. I'll live in, NBA 2K. Why not? If this place sucks, if people suck and the world sucks, and it's probably going to suck more, screw it. Just live in a video game, right? Live online, right? Why not? So that's Fight Club versus The Matrix from 1999 as a broader framing mechanism for why polite patriotism is so important and why people have to be cool with each other so they can communicate well and get more stuff done offline, because otherwise you might just end up living online, right? So, and there's more about Fight Club versus The Matrix, I can get into as well, and I have before in previous videos. When it comes to this video, again, BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com, PayPal and direct deposit, donation links below as well. manforwars.com, lessons learned battling 5,000 zombies on Remembrance Day. Now, I've covered some of these things here, but I've written down kind of 10 points to kind of go over, to kind of crystallize some of the ideas that come to me that are lessons from this experience. So, excuse me. So here's number one. Guys brainwashed to act like girls, have no manners or standards, are all the same, and make everyone put up with and act like them until no one is happy. That's guys brainwashed, not guys taking it seriously. I've met guys taking it seriously. I've met, briefly some Twinkie guys at the MAC Cosmetics store, and they're like, well, I just hope I'm a nice girl with a nice guy. And you're like, sure, buddy. Not bothering me, not bothering you, not into it. I don't need to get the hell away from it. It is what it is. You seem like a nice, girly guy. The hell do I care, right? That's not someone trying to be good at being a guy or a girl. And if 95% of people who are straight are great at being ladies and gentlemen, then the LGBT people can also be good at being ladies and gentlemen. And then people barely notice in normal, polite society who's who and who's doing what, because the goal is not to bother people or be bothered. It's to politely connect with each other and mind your business, or politely connect with each other and look at or talk to each other, right? That's the goal. So when it comes to, say, the Toronto Pride Parade, right, which has been going on for 20, 30 years in Toronto, Canada, and that's gay pride and straight pride and black pride and white pride and lesbian pride and trans pride and all sorts of pride was welcome there, because it was all polite Canadian pride, right? I used to go, I've been there several times, friends or whatever, and mix it up with this and that. Everyone was polite. Everyone had pride. It was just on that day that some people broke out their special costumes or their special, ways of behaving. But generally, outside of that, just they were still here, but you hardly noticed anybody because people weren't trying to bother each other. They were trying to just get along. They were trying to be nice, polite Canadian ladies and gentlemen, straight, gay, lesbian, trans, whatever. It didn't make a goddamn difference, right? It didn't make a difference. And then if you go there to that parade, then you're going to see them flexing in their costumes. Hey, gay guy, he pierced his nuts. Whoa, that's a little freaky. Not trying to freak me out. But I just thought, whoa, I've never seen pierced nuts before. I've been hitting the balls with a tennis ball or a soccer ball. It really hurts, so it kind of freaked me out. But it's this kind of party, and he's not trying to freak me out. So I looked at him, smiled. I was, yeah, pierced nuts. First time I've seen it. Seems painful, but if you like it, enjoy. Guy's like, hey, cool, buddy. Hey, happy Pride. We're all nice to each other. No one's trying to do anything bad to each other, right? So you want, and a couple of weirdos, random, odd weirdo here, odd weirdo there. And then, you tell them, piss off, right? Like I was at a gay conservative party with 100 people back in the day, in my early 20s, looking fit, looking pumped, shaved head, Charles Barkley, purple number 34 Phoenix Suns tank top on, some extra straight man candy. So the guys are cool, girls like it, gay guys they like or respect it. I don't want to do anything with anybody, but it's the party. We're all trying to be good looking and good looking people at a party. And so I'm at this conservative pride party in this condo. The Conservative Party of Canada had some gay conservative pride party. A buddy of mine's a conservative guy, so he invited us. There's about 10 of me and 10 of my friends. And this one creepy, ugly old guy, pervert old guy, starts trying to massage my shoulder. I was like, hey, take your hands off me. He goes, oh, come on, buddy. This is a creepy, ugly old man. He's like, oh, come on, what's the problem? Hey, I yelled at him. It's like, fuck off. What the fuck is wrong with you? You can't just touch people who don't want to be touched. What the fuck is your problem? The fuck away from me, you piece of shit. You shouldn't even be here. Nobody should have to put up with you, you fucking piece of shit. And I freaked out on him, right? And there's 100 people there, and about 80, I'd say, are gay, right? 70, 80 are gay. And they all looked at me, and I looked around. I said, what? You want some creepy piece of shit molesting you when you don't want to be molested? The fuck? And they all looked at me and went, yeah, it's pretty badass, manly dude. It's all good. Just wants to have self-respect. He was a nice guy before, probably be a nice guy after. Who cares? And so, one guy got that guy away from me. One of my buddies took me and said, hey, man, just come over here. Don't worry about it. Fuck it. Who cares? And I just got me away from that guy, got that guy away from me, and done. Didn't do anything with him at the party again. Everyone can party. Everyone was cool. Right? So it was no big deal, right? For example. But as I say here in point 1, guys brainwashed to act like girls. Brainwashed to act like, root-lying, bitchy, sketchy, ugly girls. They have no manners or standards. They're all the same, right? When it comes to actual girls, biological females, or even guys trying hard to figure out how to be good at being a girl, not to make people put up with them being bad at being a girl, right? when there's manners and standards, when most people are polite ladies and gentlemen, everybody conforms to that, or you're an asshole who's not worth doing anything with, then it's a lot easier. You could have an 80-year-old woman, and the 80-year-old woman will, smile and with a twinkle in her eye and say, "Hey, Sonny, good job. You'll get a gold star on your lapel." Bing! And you're like, "Hey, thanks, lady. It's always nice to feel like I'm a man with a lady near me, and you seem like you know what you're doing. Relatively young. I'm not trying to speculate." And and so she'll give you a nice crinkly-eyed smile with a twinkle in her eye because she's 80 fucking years old, right? If you get an 18-year-old girl, she's, a little on the younger side, but starting to get to that maturish side. And so she's a little shy and cute and hot and, hopes she'll be nice when she's trying to be a little attractive or whatever. And so it's a different kind of vibe between an 80-year-old woman and an 18-year-old girl. And if you're, 300-pound girl, right? You're a big 300-pound girl working at the Starbucks, you can still be attractive as a 300-pound girl. That doesn't mean you're shaking your ass for people. That means you've got a nice smile, you've got a nice way about you, you've got a certain grace, you're good company, and so you can be attractive for what you are, right? But you don't try and push it and say, "Treat me like a supermodel, I'm the same as anybody else, I'm the same as any girl." Well, no, 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 no. There are levels to this shit, right? And you just want to do you well, right? Even me as a guy, I work out, a lot, and I get in really good shape. I can make an 8 or 9 in terms of good looking. I don't work out like crazy and get in great shape. I can be a 7 or 8 in terms of good looking, right? If I'm really bad, I can slide to a 6, 7, but it doesn't happen much. But 7 or 8 or 8 or 9, right? But I'm not claiming I'm a 10 and like demanding, "You're a Matthew McConaughey. Treat me like I'm Matthew fucking McConaughey. Treat me like I'm a male supermodel." Yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. I'm not saying I'm ugly, and I'm saying nobody should feel ugly, right? And if people are polite, they can all feel, good in their own skin, right? So that's not the issue. But girls know that there's a pecking order. Girls know who's hotter, who's notter. Girls know, what they can do to maximize their ability to be a nice girl and good company and attractive with somebody else, right? You're 18, you're 25, you're 35, you're 45, you're 85. There's different levels to this shit. Or you're 5, or you're 3 to 5 years old. You're a little girl, right? There's levels. They understand that, right? They understand that. And they don't want to be shitty being a girl. So except for the odd, crazy bitch, who forces people to put up with her, some rude, ugly bitch, the only way they can get attention is to bully people into tolerating them. And then they make themselves paranoid and people don't really like them. And, people either laugh at them or ignore them or don't do much with them or talk behind their back, or whatever. And girls is, catty behind their back and guys like, this shit's beneath me. Fuck this, right? That'll happen. But that's very rare in the biological normal girl community, right? And even in some Twinkie guys or some guys good at being trans girls or whatever, right? That's normal. There's levels to this shit. But guys brainwashed into acting like rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy, ugly girls, they have no manners or standards. There's no levels to this shit. It's all the same. It's all the same. Big, fat, ugly 60-year-old man is the same as, 25-year-old guy, is the same as 35, is the same as skinny, is the same as black, is the same as white, is the same as straight, is the same as gay. It's all the same, right? It's all, "This is what I should do. I deserve to be treated like this. Brah. This is what I need to do. I deserve to be treated like this. Brah. Put up with me. I'm playing with my hair. Hey, I'm trying to force you to look at my ass." It's all the same. Because nobody's sharing anything. You're a rude liar and bitchy bully forcing people to put up with you like a rude ugly girl who can't get attention any other way. As opposed to confident masculine strength, meets and confirms the same, gives a safe space for confident feminine and child vulnerability, and then if you're nice to each other, the girl will share with you an appropriate way of behaving and level of attractiveness. And that's if you mansplain properly, she knows where you stand, you don't go on or whatever, but she gets an idea of you looking like a man, walking like a man, talking like a man, and then, giving her a chance to go, "Okay, that's where you're coming from. I know how to treat you," right? So if you get, a waitress at a bar, right? And she comes over and she's like, hey, how you guys doing? And you're like, oh, good. And you're like, oh, me and the guys are just yelling at each other about some bullshit, but you're a nice, pretty girl here to help us out. So, we'll take a break from yelling about some bullshit and we'll be nice to you and we'll be happy you're here and you're a pretty girl and you're dressed attractively. And so whatever. And then the girl might be like, okay, I have an understanding of where you're coming from on this as a nice guy or as nice guys. So I might touch your shoulder or touch your arm and say stop it, or tease you, or I might, lean forward and squeeze my boobs together a bit, or I might, twinkle my eyes and give you a big smile, or I might, shake my ass a bit when I walk away to go get you your beers, whatever, right? But it's about sharing something with somebody nice. It's not about forcing people to put up with you. But guys brainwashed and acting like rude, ugly girls and making, other guys act like and put up with rude, ugly girls, and then jealously making girls act like and put up with rude, ugly girls, and then teaching kids to all act like rude, ugly girls. It's all the same. It doesn't, that makes everybody the same. And again, you can see this on video if you'd like. You can see the raw footage on this channel, BitChute or YouTube. And you can see it's all basically the same. I wouldn't say the exact same, but it's getting there. It's almost the exact same. It's almost just rude, ugly girl zombie, right? It's all the same. This, 12-year-old girl running and spazzing out, trying to force you to put up with them. This, 25-year-old guy doing it. This 35-year-old woman doing it. This 55-year-old. It's all the same, right? Because for the guys, there's nobody to share anything with. There's just people to force you to put up with them, and then they make everyone else put up with and act like them, and that's how people are being turned into zombies, right? Because zombies do that. Normally, as I said, I've met all sorts of guys and all sorts of girls, right? Guys, cool, whatever, right? Girls, suss you up. Okay, fine. You seem like a friendly guy, so this is what I'll share with you. I'll share a nice smile, right? I'll share some nice cleavage. I'll share, a graceful move. I'll share some relax, buddy. I'm good company and you deserve it, right? Because they're trying to share somebody with somebody who's being nice. They're not trying to be not nice and force you to put up with them, and then, you're not nice back. That's not the point, right? So that's why it's important, because guys brainwashed to act like, girls, brainwashed to act like rude, ugly girls. They have no manners. They have no standards. They all want the same thing. Treat me like a supermodel. Pay attention to me. Force you to put up with me. And it's all the same, right? Could be a good-looking guy. Could be an ugly guy. It's all the same. And then they jealously make the girls and kids act like that, and then that's it. So that's how people turn to zombies. And so, and a couple of extreme examples of this, right, are when it comes to some of the guys who are transgender, right? There's a case recently with an article from the Daily Wire, and I saw a little clip of this on the Next News Network, of a trans man in Vancouver, a trans man trying to be a chick or whatever. He's in British Columbia, and this is a little news story I heard about. He's suing 16 women at a waxing clinic. 16 women at a waxing clinic because they won't wax his balls and his dick at this female waxing clinic to try and pretend he's a woman, right? He's just a big ugly guy in a dress, just a big ugly bitchy bully, shitty at being a man, shitty at being a woman, shitty for adults, shitty for kids, just a shitty creature to be near, right? May not be his fault, but you need to take a check and balance on this so you can bring him back from the brink of being all messed up by gender dysphoria, brainwashing, confusion, whatever, right? But this guy walks into a woman's clinic, right? And he says, hey, I want you to wax my girly parts. And then the girls are like, no, sir, you have a dick and balls. And you can go to a different place. You can go to a gay waxing place or whatever, where they can wax your dick and balls. You can get a manzillion, like a Brazilian, but a manly Brazilian or something. There are guys that do that. They want their balls and dick waxed. It's different stuff. It's different equipment or whatever. But the guy's like, no, treat me like a girl. And now he's got a lawyer, and he's suing these 16 women who work at this clinic. He's suing 16 women with a human rights complaint, saying, because you won't wax my dick and balls like they're a girl's vagina, you are mean to trans people, right? And so this is just a case of, can rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy, ugly trans men abuse women, right? Just like, can normal guys sexually harass each other and jealously harass girls and treat girls like shit because they're jealous? Because even though they're now technically, even though now they're largely doing the same thing, it's all the same gender neutral, gender equal, rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy, pretend girlfriend zombie. Act stupid, makes you put up with them for no reason till you don't respect and like each other, especially if you don't like it. They love to bother you till you don't like each other. And if you don't do it, then you won't like each other because you won't, they have to do it, you know. So basically, if you don't put up with me bothering you because you hate it, then I won't like you. But if you do, then we won't like each other anyway, right? So this guy is going to this clinic in British Columbia and saying to these 16 women, you have to wax my balls and dick like they were girls, otherwise you're rude to trans people. Right? It's like, that's insane. That's insane, right? And that is the lack of, again, polite patriotism as well, because there aren't normally polite ladies and gentlemen around to set the manners and standards for everybody. Say, buddy, if you're good at being a girl, then you'll be treated well as a girl. If you're shitty at it, you didn't even chop off your dick and balls, fuck off. Go somewhere else. You're not allowed to abuse other people because, you know, you think this will make you feel better. This is not going to make you feel like a natural woman. You waxing my dick and balls. You waxing my dick and balls. You waxing my dick and balls makes me feel like a natural woman. Like, no. Bullshit. It's total bullshit. Right? It's absolute bullshit. They're just a liar and a bitchy bully, and they're just getting away with it. When you're a weak person, weak people are scary. Strong people aren't scary. Weak people are scary. And this is a weak, lying, bitching victim bully who's picking on normal girls. Because even if a lot of times it's gender neutral the way people act, the girls are still technically, when it comes to being attractive, still technically more attractive than a lot of the guys, you know, trying to act like girls. Either some people shitty at being trans, or just normal guys, normal straight guys or whatever, shitty at being, you know, girls, right? Shitty act like girls, right? The girls are still technically more attractive, even if they're bullying each other into putting up with and acting all the same. They're still technically, so there's still that jealousy. Just like a rude, bitchy, ugly girl is jealous of more attractive girls. If you have an office full of girls, and the girls are there and they're catty, and some of them will tell you, if the girls tell me, working in an office full, oh my God, girls can be horrible to each other, just horrible to each other. Oh, it could just be so awful. It'd be so nice if there's some guys around so they could feel a little better and we could compete to see who's better at it or worse at it, and we could sort some things out. But sometimes just a group of girls is fucking awful, right? And the rude, ugly ones, just fucking awful. Now, if you add man size, man strength, man testosterone to that, you know, man energy, you know, masculine, you know, built to fucking kill or die. Not built to just survive and go with the flow, but fucking kill for the right shit or die for the right shit. Not just, what are we doing? I just want to get along. Hope people are nice to me. That's more the female thing, right? But if you add that type of energy to the rude, ugly girl scenario, then you'd get the same bitchy, ugly girls in an office setting on steroids when it comes to, you know, normal guys brainwashed and acting like rude, ugly girls, or at the extreme, the trans guys brainwashed and acting like rude, ugly girls. Another example of that is in England. There's a trans guy walked into a women's health clinic and said, you know, hey, I think I might have cervical cancer. You know, give me a pap smear, right? And the nurse was like, you have a dick and balls, so you don't have a cervix. You don't have a vagina. There's nothing to smear. You have no pap. I can't smear your pap. I can't take a smear of your pap. You have no vagina. You have no cervix. There's no chance you're getting cervical cancer. And the guy's throwing a temper tantrum, you know, at the National Health Service, you know, the Socialist Health Service in England, at this women's clinic. He's throwing a temper tantrum. Hey! I'm a woman, goddammit! Treat me like a woman! Goddammit! If you don't wipe the space between my balls and my asshole, I won't feel like a natural woman. You won't make me feel, you won't make me feel, you won't make me feel like a natural woman. I say, bullshit. You're just a fucking bitchy, ugly mess of a girl. You're a bitchy, ugly, miserable girl. You're not good at being a girl. You're a horrible, lying, bitchy bully. Like, you're shitty at it. you shouldn't put other people out like that. The most important thing for girls is to be good company with nice people, right? So that, hey, I'm good company. It's always better having me around. It's all good, just lighten the mood, make people a little happier. It's all good, right? Now you can taste variations. You got other things to do. You got blah blah blah. But generally speaking, it's nice, right? You get some whatever. Hey, how's it going? Whatever. So this is the big problem, is that this is the brainwashing. This is how people are being turned into liars and bitchy bullies and zombies. And so when you see this, and there's many other examples out there, but when you see examples like this, you have to keep in mind, it's not just about, yeah, go along with this and don't say anything until you get brainwashed and doing the same stupid shit. You need to take a more, a healthier attitude towards this. And again, manforwars.com, you can support the manforwars.com efforts. If 95+% of people who are straight are great at it, being polite ladies and gentlemen, and teaching kids to be, and then LGBT people can also fit into that. And just like at the Pride Parade, it's in normal settings, you hardly notice because everyone's nice and polite and just keeps it moving, right? You just keep moving. You connect, keep it moving. Connect, keep moving. Connect, look at, talk to each other, blah, 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 right? And then if you go to Pride Parade, you see them break out the costumes, break out the this, break out the that, yada, yada, yada. Just like if you go to the Indian Parade with the East Indians, whatever, from India, right? And you see them, and they're like, hey, you come to the Happy Diwali Parade. We wear our traditional Diwali costumes and Diwali headgear. Or maybe the Holi festival, we splash colors around, colored powder, and we spin it around in circles, and we wear the saris and salwar kameez, and fine. Or you go to the Chinese Parade, right? You're not doing that shit all the time. Most of the time, you're fitting in with other nice, polite, normal Canadians. But at certain events, at certain clubs, at certain whatever, you flex, right? So that would be the ideal, as opposed to, the what I do, whatever I want, brr. Can't get no credit for being a man, it sucks, but if I'm a bitchy bully, ha ha ha, and that's what disempowered men. That's why a lot of them turn to rude, ugly girls. You can't be empowered men, right? So you might as well be an empowered, bitchy, ugly girl, right? So, anyway, I wanted to make that point. And as part of that, men have to work to make sure they and others are cool, or they make sure no one is, right? Guys get credit for their discipline, generally speaking, right? You're walking fast, you're a bigger, stronger guy, you're louder, you're more physical. And so if you show up somewhere, and everyone looks and goes, all right, this guy a problem or a solution? Because if this guy's a problem, we got to deal with this problem, worry about this problem. If this guy's a solution, then he's going to be cool about being a big, strong, relatively big, strong guy, average guy, or, bigger than average, or a little smaller than average, but a guy that could be, a problem, or a guy that could help solve problems and stop problems, right? Is this guy cool? Okay, great, right? So you get some discipline for not being, rude, not being obnoxious, not being too physical, not bothering people, not talking too loud or walking too fast or coming too close to people. Doesn't mean you can't express yourself. Doesn't mean you can't be a confident guy. But in situations with people, with individual people, you get credit for your discipline, right? I've been a guy who's been like, you know what, motherfucker? If you're going to walk around fucking people up all day and killing people all day, then you should just fucking kill yourself, right? Why don't you just, instead of fucking killing people with your fucking rude, lying, bitchy bullshit, why don't you just draw a nice hot bath and take a bunch of sleeping pills and cut your fucking wrists and die in your own fucking bathtub, you piece of shit, right? And I've said that to guys. And then I meet it, and then I go to this bar nearby, some cute girls heard me, right? And I'm like, excuse me. He goes, yes, I'm really sorry. I'm lost. I'm looking for pizza rustica. I've got to pick something up there, so would you mind, could you do? Oh, yeah, sure. And she's super friendly. She's super nice. And I'm being really nice to her. She's really nice to me. She's that. I'm like, well, she's just around the corner there. Oh, thank you. She taps my arm. Hey, not bad, buddy. I said, have a good day, cute blonde girl. And that's right after I said that, right? So it's not about not being able to express yourself. It's about making sure, you're disciplined with people and you're expressive as well. And that's why I say men have to make sure that they and other people are cool, or they make sure no one is, because then the opposite of that happens, right? If and so guys get credit for discipline, being cool, and as I said before, girls get credit for sharing, right? If I'm walking fast, I'm like a man, walk straight to Home Depot, no hips, not walk cute little circles like a girl, making cute little circles with her hips or whatever, right? Jump over a car, whatever, not just worry about them, whatever. And I'm in there, and there's a girl, and then I discipline myself. Then she's like, okay, so you're going to be cool? Okay, well, then I'll share being nice, right? So guys get credit for disciplining their physicality to be cool, and girls get credit for sharing their attractiveness, their good company, their grace, their femininity, with somebody who's cool, right? If not, a bunch of frigid bitches, guys and girls and kids, all the same frigid, ugly bitches, right? So, that's why men have to make sure they and other people are cool, and they have to work on that, and they have to make that a priority. Or the opposite is they'll make sure nobody is. Guys go, yeah, just a mess. You know how it is. Everything sucks. Work sucks. Life sucks. I've had guys do this where I'm like, say to a guy, whatever, working at a construction site for a while, and say to this dude, hey man, how's it going? He's like, how's work? Oh, it's okay. It happens. Hey, I said to him, hey man, anything bad happen? No. Nobody messed with you? No. You're making good money here? Yeah. So it was a good day. He goes, yeah, you know what? Actually, it was a good day, right? He was just being a bitch for no reason, fashionably, right? He said, I know it is. I don't want to put you off by being confident. Mess. Because that's fashionable, right? But he's just going to be screwed up. And other people around him are going to be screwed up as well, right? So that's why men have to work. I'm not saying you can never have an issue, but that issue should be legitimate and tied to something. Otherwise, people don't know that you can be cool and you can make sure other people are cool. And you, because you are not cool and because you're bigger and stronger and louder and whatever, you'll make sure nobody's cool, right? So you'll be screaming at the kids and the kids will be screaming at you. And if you're wondering why you're a 45-year-old man yelling at a 5-year-old kid, it's because you fucked up bad. Because that doesn't happen, right? It doesn't happen. I've been cool with kids. I've talked to them. I've been direct with them, but I haven't been all messed up by them or have them all messed up with me. I've been direct. Hey, you and your sister, stop playing hockey for a second. What? What is it? Listen, do not raise your hockey sticks above your waist. Okay? Talking to a little 5, 6, 7-year-old boy, a little 3, 4, 5-year-old girl or whatever. Do not raise your hockey sticks above your waist or you're going to poke each other in the eye. Do you understand? You understand? Right? I'm really serious about this. The guy's like, yes. The girl looks at his brother. It's, yeah, okay. Good. Okay, you ready to have fun again? Yeah. Okay, good. Go. We'll play. But that's not, why are you doing that? You're a mess. God damn it, listen to me. Dad, I hate you. That's garbage, right? Or if a woman's having some trouble with the kid or whatever, I can't stand that. Just bring in my big man voice. Hey, settle down, right? If you can't make leaving this house, if you can't make leaving us having fun okay, just a thing you have to do because you got to go home, eat, and go to sleep, then we can't do this. You can't make that part crappy. You had a good time. Now, calm down and be cool and let's be nice and get the hell out of here. Right? Kids, fine, no problem. Right? Or if little boys, has an ouchie and starts acting stupid or bitchy or whatever, ow, then I pinch him. Ow! Good job. That's a real ouchie. You don't want to be bitching about bullshit for the rest of your life. Right? I'll use that language or whatever, but you get the idea, right? That's a real ouchie. You don't want to complain about every little thing as much as you can. That was a real authentic ouchie. That's when you say ouch. But every time just random stuff happens, you can't just go, ow, give me attention, right? The guy might pinch him with the girl, I might flicker, similar stuff. Ow! Don't just say that for no reason. That's a good one. That's a real reason to say it. That other stuff, you don't want to complain about everything as much as you can for the rest of your life. Right? So men have to work to make sure they and others are cool, or they will make sure no one's cool. Right? No guys to be cool with. Hey, how's it going? Mess. Put up with me. Now you're a mess. And then girls, you're not worth doing anything with. I'd just be a mess near you. You're not worth being nice to. Kids, you're not worth respecting. I don't want to grow up to be you. And so no one's cool. Right? So that's another point. And as for women, and this may seem counterproductive or counter, it's actually intuitive. It is intuitive, but it may seem counter to what is often promoted. But women, men and women have to make sure that they do their job. Women do their job, right? Women basically only good for two things, right? Put us in a good mood and make babies, right? That's it. That's the core function. put us in a good mood, and you make babies. That's it. Now, you can do whatever the hell else you want. You can do whatever the hell else you want. There's a bunch of other stuff to do, right? But that's the baseline. Put us in a good mood and make babies. That's it. And everything else that you do is either a bonus or it's a pain in the ass, right? Put us in a good mood, make babies. That's the core. That's it. Now, do whatever, this, that, whatever. Everything else is either a bonus or it's a pain in the ass. If you make a lot of money, that's a bonus. Fantastic. If you want to watch Amy Schumer, gross, but whatever. If we're nice to each other, who cares? Some of her stuff's funny, I guess. Whatever. Who cares? Nice to each other and whatever. Indulge it a bit. But that's basically it. Now, if you want to know how 5,000 zombies feel about that, or at least a representative sample, you can watch me saying that at the Eaton Center, and you can watch the girls just freak out. Like, what? What? That's the most important thing. And what? And just, spaz out, zombies love it, freak out. And this isn't the first time I've said that, in public like that, and see the reaction. Just see, look at them. They go crazy. They love it. I mean, they're not going to say that themselves, but they freaking love it, right? Now, from there, because those are the core responsibilities, they can feel, more confident. They can feel more supported. They can feel more, I can do more than that. I'll show you. I'm going to make $150,000 this year. So, hey, baby, you go right ahead. That's totally cool with me. It is what it is, right? I'll show you. Now I'm confident. I'll show you, right? Just like just like with girls in general, where, girl acknowledgement, acknowledge, look everybody, acknowledge, avoid, keep it moving. With girls, acknowledgement, avoidance, done. Don't want to bother you, don't want to put you out, don't want to take your time, don't want attention, whatever. Once she realizes that, she might be like, cool, you sure? And then reassurance, yeah, it's fine. You're so hot. Look at you, you poor thing. You might just scare yourself. This is ridiculous. You're going to, so hot. You're so cute. You're just going to scare the crap out of yourself. I can't take this. I got to go. I got to get out. I got to get away from you, right? This is just too much, right? You're so cute. You're going to scare the crap out of yourself with the cool stuff you do. This is too much. I got to go. You can't be doing that. And so acknowledgement, avoidance, reassurance. And then once that happens and she's sure that you don't want to bother her and she doesn't have to get into a mood where she has to bother you, then she can go, oh yeah, I'll show you, Mr. Man. And the little 4'11", 90 pounds of hotness can strut around. I'll show you. I'm a hot, confident, badass girl. Look at how slow I move. And almost naked. In this little, yes, badass girl. Yes, moving really slow, wearing almost nothing, almost falling over in your heels. Yes, incredibly badass. Yes, of course, right? She can feel much more confident, knowing that. That is your attitude, right? You sure? Yeah. Not yet? Yeah. There's a double standard. Nice to each other? Yeah. Well, screw you, buddy. You think I'm just a girl who's scared of you? I'll show you how cute I am, how hot I am. I'll show you I'm a badass, sexy girl. And it's like, yeah, sure, fine, right? But the only way that starts is with that confident masculine strength and feminine vulnerability double standard where you don't want to bother each other. Right? It's not like a badass dude just do that. It's like, hey, barely dressed and moving really slow and hope you think I'm hot or cute or nice or whatever. It's like it's not a badass guy. It's a badass girl, right? I worked at a construction site, figure out guys. I worked at a strip club, figure out girls. I've worked other places. I've interacted with lots of people. I've done a bunch of experiments, and this shit's solid, right? Solid. And so, that's my point. And that's why I say women's main job is put us in a good mood, both of us, and men and women have to work on that, both, right? And teach kids. Put us in a good mood and make babies. That's the main job. Everything else is a bonus or a pain in the ass. And as part of that process, you've got to have that there. Because once you know you're not going to bother each other, then you can be nice to each other. If you start off bothering each other, then you're not going to be nice to each other. And everything you say or do is crap anyway. You could say, hey, girl, put up with me. Hey, I think you're hot. And the girl's like, ugh, yeah, sure. Put up with me too. Yeah, whatever. It's just garbage. You don't care. You just want to bother people. What the hell? Your shit doesn't mean anything. I don't want to look at you or talk to you or listen to you much. I don't respect you. You don't respect me. Who gives a shit? It's all garbage, right? Your compliment is garbage. Your hello is garbage. Your good morning is garbage. I don't believe you. You're not nice. You're full of shit and a waste of time, right? Now, I may have to put up with and act like you or do stuff with you or near you or whatever, but it's garbage, right? And I'll say less and less to you, you'll say less and less to me, and we'll just turn to zombies who just want to bother people and make more zombies instead of be quietly uncomfortable near each other. It's more freeing to run around and bother people and run away like zombies. Bother people for half a second and run away than it is to be near someone for half an hour and be uncomfortable, right? So anyway, so that's another point on this. Now, here's another point, and again, this video is called manforwars.com, Lessons Learned Battling 5,000 Zombies on Remembrance Day recently, and you can see the raw video evidence of this if you'd like, and you can go through that to confirm or draw your own conclusions, or you can kind of look at some of the stuff that I have here to sort of say, well, we know two people on Earth agree 100%, but there's some useful stuff there, and certainly when it comes to generally how people get along, individuals, some individuals, but generally how most people should get along where they live, there's some really valuable stuff as part of this, right? Now, the next point on this is even the most messed up girls, right, or guys so messed up they act like messed up girls, even they would rather be ignored than act bitchy with a wimp. They would rather be ignored. Girls, messed up girls, rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy, messed up girls, or guys so shitty being guys they become shitty being girls. They would rather be ignored than act bitchy with a whip, right? And there's tons of proof of this. You can say it, and they run up and they prove it. They run up and yeah, me, we, right? So they would rather be ignored than act bitchy with a whip. Then, have someone see how ugly they look, how bad they make you feel, how stressful and confusing and annoying they are, and what type of a piece of shit they're getting shitty attention from that would give them shitty attention, like they've got nothing better to do, like it's not beneath them. It's like, oh, I'm bothering you, ha ha. Oh, you're a piece of shit putting up with a piece of shit. Oh, great. Like this is a good use of our time, right? This is garbage, right? So, keep that in mind. I've got a song called "Not 'Cause You Need It, Just 'Cause You Want It," and it starts off, pop, big softy pot, stone cold killer. What you hoes want? Oh, you don't know either, Big Daddy, so really you compete to cop a feeler. Mike Jack, more peeps than Mike Jack's Thriller. Right? Part big softy, part stone cold killer. What you hoes want? Oh, you don't know either? What do women want? All that sort of thing. I'm like, oh, part big softy, part stone cold killer. Right? And then, Big Daddy, so really you compete to cop a feeler. Like, are you feeling me? Are you getting me? Mike Jack, mo peeps than Mike Jack's Thriller. That means I might get more people on my side than Michael Jackson's Thriller, right? Now, he sold 35, 50 million albums or whatever. I've got a couple million people on video. There's 5 million people in Toronto. I'm sort of generally known in some ways and just an interesting mystery in others. But you get the idea. A lot of people kind of, connect around either the way I move or what I'm saying in a variety of ways, and I've got a lot of proof of that. And so the next line is, don't waste my time or I'll waste your mind, and you don't mind, just think what a find. Right? Straight, it isn't talking to a girl in this particular song in that way, right? Don't waste my time or I'll waste your mind, your intentions. And you don't mind, just think what a find. Hey, this is a cool guy, right? Just like if girls are, walking slow, looking cool, trying to feel hot, they have nothing better to do. And they have other stuff to do, but they have nothing better to do, right? And so if some girls are walking this way and they're being, annoying, or they're not relaxed enough, or they're not whatever, and they're not, relaxed enough to pay attention to, and you're like, nope, not getting caught out. The only time I look at girls is when both of us are relaxing, so everybody knows that nobody's messed with anybody, and it's nobody else's fucking business, right? Checking out girls like that. They're relaxed, I'm relaxed. They relax more when you look at them. They're safe with you. They're comfortable with you. If anything happens at that point, they were nice to you. You're nice to them. You can step up and help. But if not, you're just being nice to each other and it's cool. So if they're walking this way and they're just, all dressed up and walking slow, looking cool, trying to feel hot, and they're being a little annoying or obnoxious about it, and say, nope, nothing. As long as you're cool, you're not all messed up by them, you're not messing with them, you don't care, it's just beneath you, they're just being stupid, just some chicks, whatever, just screwing around, whatever, then they might walk back this way, and then the next time they walk back this way, if you still seem to be a cool guy, then they'll actually slow down and be attractive and be nice, because they'll get the vibe of who you are, by, not necessarily being, sharing whatever with you, right? Now, it depends. It's all a mixed bag. But, that's what they do. Right now, with everybody turning into zombies, everyone's trying to do the same thing. And nobody can walk slow, look cool, or try and feel hot. You've got to run like a zombie and spaz out and try and force people to put up with you. So, it's a rude, ugly zombie girl, right? So that's different. But normally, traditionally, nothing better to do. No, other stuff to do, but nothing better to do, right? If you have a chance, take a break, walk around, hope people are nice to you, and you get some credit for it, be graceful, attractive, enjoy yourself, whatever. So, they'd rather be ignored than act bitchy with a whip, right? And that's an important lesson. And I go on about that, but I'm going to fly through some of these things here to try and make sure it's pretty comprehensive. And feel free to comment, subscribe below, any questions, any answers, whatever, things you think, well, I don't know about this, If you're straight, you're not supposed to be good at being a guy or a girl. The guys are supposed to be, nah, men suck, and girls are supposed to be, you can do anything a guy can. Try it. Act like one. Ha ha. But if you switch sides, if you're a guy turning into a girl, and you're just horrible at it, we're supposed to treat you like a goddess. You're so special. Or you're a girl turning into a guy, and you're horrible at it, and you're supposed to, you're so cool, man. So it's garbage. It's all garbage, right? You can be good at being nice, polite, confident, happy, straight people, and they're nice, polite, confident, happy, LGBT, whatever people, totally fine. If someone's an asshole, they're an asshole. Fuck them. Who cares, right? Not worth it, eh? It's Canada, especially, but anywhere around the world. But fuck off, buddy. Not worth it, eh? You know how it is. When people are nice and polite, cool. Why fuck off? Not worth it. So it is what it is. Anyway, even the most messed up girls or guys so messed up they act like rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy, ugly girls, they would rather be ignored than act bitchy with a wimp. And even guys, back in the day when I stopped this initially, because it's been getting worse for a few years, and I won't go into all that now, but the point is, back in the day when it was only 20-30% of guys sexually harassing other guys and jealously harassing girls, and the girls were breaking, but not broken yet, so they keep you in a good mood, badass dude, blah, 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 whatever, do your job, do their job, done, right? I used to be able to put stuff out there and get guys and girls and people, if they like what you were saying or doing, they could look at you and give you a good look, whatever. They didn't like what you're saying. They're not trying to mess with you, mess with them, but they give you a dirty look. Like, ugh. It's all right, cool. Hey, listen, I don't fart roses all the time, but sometimes one pops out. It's all good, But the point is that, back in the day, I convinced them, hey, look, you really don't like your buddy pretending to be a rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy girlfriend. Hey, man, how's it going? Yeah, you know how it is. I'm a messed up girl. And guys would be like, nah, looking away. They start, no, can't just do that. Not going to look at it. What? No? All right, fine. And then the other guys who were brainwashed into it would just drop it. Right? You can even see this on video. I remember Dwayne Wade doing this with some bitchy, messed guy in some practice basketball video. And Dwayne Wade, famous legendary NBA basketball player for the Miami Heat, now in his 16th and final season, he just looked away and went, ugh, right? And the guy was like, oh, okay, no more sheepish, bitchy, sketchy, man. No, it's cool, man. It's cool. No, we're cool. It's all good, right? So the guys bullied each other or ignored each other out of it, and then they stopped for a while. But then I didn't get paid for it, and then it came back, and it got worse and worse and worse, and here we are, right? And so, I'm always, happy to step up, but I don't want to be an idiot who wastes time on this shit, doesn't get paid for it, doesn't get paid well for it. A couple of things here and there, but not that much, certainly not enough. And I don't want to be an idiot who wastes time on this bullshit, waste my life on this bullshit for no reason. People don't care, they don't support it, they don't financially support me, fine, fuck it. But I don't want to be a fucking pussy who doesn't do anything about it. So I'm always happy to be able to help stop this within 3 to 6 months. Right? Bunch of people embarrassed, the lying bitch is begging to be broken. Most people snap out of it fairly quickly, 3 to 6 months, and proper propaganda and other tools and other things like that and resources behind it, done. And then you get the odd whack job here and there doing things because they're an asshole, or you get some poor mentally ill or mentally challenged, rude, sketchy, crazy homeless person on the subway, you politely ignore them, feel a little sorry for them, they kind of, hey, zombie, spaz out, rude, sketchy, no, okay, fine, I'll just chill out here, it's all good, I don't show or get respect, it's as close as I get, so if I just chill out and I'm not as bad as I was, then it won't be that bad, right? It's like, yeah, sure, rude, sketchy, crazy homeless person, no problem, no big deal, right? So you can get back to seeing one rude, sketchy person a month bothering strangers instead of, as you can see in the video, one a second bothering strangers, which is currently seems to be the ratio. Anyway, so I'll fly through a couple more here. Excuse me. Now, if you're over 30 years old, if you're over age 30, and you like rap music, the people who your rappers were dissing are you, and what you are turning into, what you are being turned into, what you are being brainwashed to turn into. The people that your favorite rappers, Tupac, Lil Wayne, Jeezy, Young Jeezy, Public Enemy, right? Name them all the sucker MCs, weak rappers, weak bitches. I can't stand fake ass bitches, lying ass niggas, and your punk ass snitches, right? All that shit, right? Coldplay with the song "Talk," 'cause I feel like they talking in a language I don't speak, and they talking it to me, right? That's the Coldplay song "Talk." That's all about this, right? About the guys that, I want to talk to you about the future. Oh, what's going on? Oh, but you're acting like a bitch. Oh, no. Hey, listen, you can take a picture of something you see. Just relax. Check out some cute girls when you're nice to each other. But in the future, where will I be? But keep your mind on something else so she knows that you're not going to bother each other and she can share something with you, right? All that stuff. Coldplay's Talk. Or Bob Marley. Could you be loved or be loved? Don't let them change you. No, no. Oh, rearrange you. We got a right to live. Ooh, they say only the fittest of the fittest shall survive. Stay alive. Could you be loved and be loved? That's you. You can't be loved, or loved if you're a rude, lying, bitchy bully. You can't. Right? That's you. Right? And when they say only the fittest of the fittest will survive. He's talking about the globalists, the eugenicists, the rich, evil people saying, we're going to kill you off. This is how. That's you. Right? That's who they're talking about. So if you like that, if you like music, going back, especially if you're the age of 30, right? The old saying in the 60s to try and get people, not to listen to adults was don't trust anyone under 30. These days should be don't trust anyone or don't trust anyone over 30. That's what they said to all the young people in their 20s and teens and 20s in the 60s to say, yeah, don't trust those old people. They don't know what's going on. It's total bullshit, right? It should be don't trust anyone under 30. I've been under 30 and I was full of myself, and it's good to be confident. You want to be in good shape. You want to work out. You want to be good looking. You want to be confident with other people. You want to find the right partner to get along with, maybe marry, maybe have kids. It's no problem. But in terms of know-it-all, in terms of no way, no friggin' way, no way. So don't trust anyone under 30. Now, if you are over 30, and people under 30 can also benefit from this as well, the people that your favorite rappers and other artists were dissing are you. You today. That's who they are, right? That's who they are. And when it comes to this, and Canadian corporate knowledge in general, Canadian corporate knowledge meaning, polite Canadian history, how to be polite Canadians, right? I represent, one of those people, one of the last people left that can either be leveraged into promoting that and making it more normal to be world famous, nice, polite Canadians who are great to get along with. You go anywhere in Canada, typically meet one, or any Canadian goes anywhere in the world, they typically see one. Or it'll die with me and other people over the age of 30 who knew how to be nice, polite Canadians, but didn't pass it on because we were obsessed with being young and forever 21 and, hey, what are we supposed to do now, Sonny? Take a selfie? Hey, look at this. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a selfie. So selfie, right? So, it'll either die or it'll be destroyed and then it'll die. And then the next generation coming up, they won't know shit. They won't know shit. You can say, hey, you should be nice and polite. You shouldn't get worked up and bother people. They'll be like, what? We always act like zombies. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. You got to sit near people and you got to be uncomfortable and sketchy like a bunch of zombies in a TV show or movie. Zombie, 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 zombie. But then when we get a chance to walk and run and attack people and try and make more people into zombies, that's when we come alive. That's when we feel the best. When we can run around and bother people like zombies, that's when we feel happiest. But if we have to sit here and, hey, ugly, sketchy mess, bitchy, ugly mess, bother you, bitchy, ugly mess, I'm more messed up and miserable. No, I'm more messed up and miserable. I'm more messed up. Yeah, it's uncomfortable being near people, not nice to each other. No real point in looking at, talking to, listening to each other. Why? You're not nice to each other. So more free and more, feel more fulfilled acting like zombies than you do acting like humans, right? So that's why it's important. And to illustrate that point, now, I go on about it. Each of these things could be an hour or two on their own, but it's just to give you a solid flavor of each of these thoughts. Um, I'll recite. I guess it's the second verse, the second verse of the Tupac song, "If I Should Die Tonight," or "If I Die Tonight," "If I Die Tonight," "If I Die," and then the number two, NITE. And "If I Die Tonight" is the first song after the introduction on Tupac's "Me Against the World" album. And there's the classic song "Me Against the World," which is also another great song, right? But that album was all about, holy shit, look at the shit I realized, look at the shit going on in the hood. Now all those hood problems are going mainstream, so you can just look at the hood stuff, be like, man, the hood's all fucked up. People are all fucked up and fucking with each other and bitching and snitching. Yet now it's everybody. They test market shit in poor neighborhoods, and then they bring it to everybody. So now everybody's bitching and snitching, right? So, and excuse me, I'm actually gonna refill this. All right, sorry about that little interlude there. But the point is that so this is what's happening, right? And so Tupac on the "Me Against the World" album was like, oh my goodness, look at all this stuff going on. We got to do something, or people are gonna get all fucked up. And so the intro track and the first track, "If I Die Tonight," and then the second, and that's "If I Die." And I feel that way about my Canadian corporate knowledge when it comes to this stuff, right? If I die, if something happens to me or whatever. Unfortunately, people are cool. They don't mind if somebody just, says we should be polite, but they don't want to do anything to help. So it just is what it is, right? So it's just like, well, I don't want to be an idiot and fucking waste time on this shit and don't get paid well for it, don't get supported well for it. People don't want to talk about it. People are uncomfortable, blah, blah, blah. But I don't want to be a fucking pussy, do nothing about it. So, yeah, a little here and there. I tried to go hard at it sometimes and try to say, well, see? And then people's like, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, you're really worth bothering. Ha, 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 ha. Hey, you want to make more Rainbow Zombie? And I forget it. Never mind. But on the "Me Against the World" album, Tupac, started off after the intro track with "If I Should Die Tonight." So I'll recite the second verse from that song, and it gives you an idea of sort of what's going on now. And he says, "Polish your pistols, prepare for battle, pass the pump. When I get to poppin', niggas is droppin', then they done. Callin' the coroner, come collect the fucking corpse. He got hit by a killer, preoccupied with being boss. Revenge is the method, we'll never step and keep a weapon close. Adversaries are overdosed over deadly notes. Jealous niggas and broke bitches equal pack jails. Hit the block and fill your pocket making crack sales. Picture perfection, pursuing paper with a passion. Visions of prisons for all the pussies that I blasted. Running with criminals, individuals with no remorse. Try to stop me, my pistol posse using deadly force. In my brain, all I can think about is fame. The police know my name, a different game, ain't a thing changed. I'm seeing cemetery photos of my peers, conversating like they still here. If I die tonight, do do do. If I die tonight, do do. If I die tonight." And you can look at the rest of that song, right? But many elements of that song kind of, relate, right? Is it, pitiful punk pussies, what's going on? Pistol posse using deadly force. Cops know. Cops, troops, and spooks, or, soldiers, or intelligence, or military intelligence, or whatever, that make it all clear. Look, see this, see that, see, compare this, compare that. Look at how people do something. What the fuck is wrong with you, right? Don't just show up and think I'm just a guy worth bothering. Just come on, and so, and I'm seeing cemetery photos of my peers. That means dead homies, right? All the dead homies, all the friends you used to be able to get along with, who just like sexually harassing each other and then jealousy harassing girls until everyone's a rude, ugly girl, right? And they can't get along normally. And instead of hanging out with each other, they prefer to run around and try and make more zombies, either together. Hey, we can't really sit near each other at Starbucks and catch up. You want to walk around and bother people and make more zombies? Yeah, sure. Or people are like, don't really want to hang out with people. I'd rather just wander around by myself and try and force people to put up with me and make more zombies, right? So I'm seeing cemetery photos of my peers, conversating like they still here. If I die tonight, I'm talking like guys are still here, right? Even if they're dead, even if they're the Walking Dead. I'll still men this, women that, blah, this, God damn it, man, and guys, get off. Either lying bitches begging to be broken, right? I get a lot of, hey, fuck you, loser. Thank you, soldier. Hey, fuck you, loser. Put up with this. Thank you, soldier. Lying bitch begging to be broken. I needed that, right? As they damn near kill me, 6'5", 200-pound guys, trying to force me to see them look ugly and like a rude, ugly, sketchy girl. And then they get embarrassed and they're happy they were ignored and they try and force me to look at, offer me their ass as an apology for being such a stupid bitch. And then I ignore that too, and then they get off and they run away, right? So as that's happening to them, I still have the ability to say, well, if you want to be a cool guy, other cool guys, and have some cool girls and nice girls and cute kids around, it's still on the table, right? But if I die tonight, and if the corporate knowledge is destroyed, and I'm not able to execute a bunch of plans related to this material, then, that might be that, right? If I can, and if I can get other people, get the balls rolling, get the egg sighted. It's not all on me, but if I can help get the balls rolling, get the egg sighted, if I can help people have bigger balls and unscrambled eggs, then I can unleash people who are way more capable than I am in a number of ways. I may have some of the biggest balls, but people are smarter, people are stronger, faster, more knowledgeable, people work harder. There's all sorts of people that are good at other things. I may have just really, really big balls, but in terms of getting the balls rolling and getting the eggs sighted and pushing for bigger balls and unscrambled eggs, if I can get that going, then you'll see a lot more people doing a lot more things to make a lot more people, happy and confident and make the place that you live in a lot better, right? So that's an example of some of the rapper stuff. So remember, if you like rap music and you're over the age of 30 especially, you remember rap music from the 90s, DMX, Rough Riders Anthem, right? The end of Rough Riders Anthem. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. DMX is going through the exact same thing that I'm going through with that song, with X Gonna Give It To You, with Party Up in Here. And I've demonstrated that by going out and showing it and rapping it or playing some music and showing. You see what the people are, it's the exact same shit. Where DMX is like, oh, dog, I'm an extra manly guy. And some guys are like, you're really worth bothering like a bitch. It's like, dog, you shouldn't be a bitch. Man, nobody should be a bitch. Don't act like a bitch. You're a bitch's bitch, dog. And the more he did that, the more miserable lying bitches begging to be broken, would show up. So a song like Rough Riders Anthem probably is Get At Me, Dog, and then Rough Riders Anthem, big hits. He says, another unsolved mystery. It's going down in history. Niggas ain't never did shit to me. Bitch ass niggas can't get to me. Gots to make a move. Got a point to prove. Gotta make 'em groove. Got 'em all like ooh. So until the next time you hear this nigga rhyme, try to keep your mind on getting pussy and crime. Do stop, drop, shut 'em down, open up shop. Talk is cheap, motherfucker. That's all about this. That's what I'm saying. Your favorite rappers, if you like that shit, is you they're talking about. If you're acting like this, that's you. Like that's who they're talking about, right? Or X gonna give it to you. Fuck waiting for you to get it on your own. X gonna deliver it to you. Knock knock, open up the door. It's real with the non-stop pop from stainless steel. Go hard getting busy with it. But I got such a good heart that I make a motherfucker wonder if he did it. Damn right, and I do it again because I am light, so I got to win. Break bread with the enemy. No matter how many cats I break bread with, I break who you send to me. Just check out the video from the inside. You see 5,000 zombies, right? Lion bitches baby broken. And then, you motherfuckers never wanted nothing but your life saved. Bitch, and that's on a light day. See, he's talking about you. I'm getting down like a nigga said freeze, but won't be the one ending up on his knees. Bitch, please. And you see all the guys, yeah, me. It's the only thing you cats deal with. Came out to play. Stay out my way. Mother, first we gonna rock, then we gonna roll, then we let it pop. Go, let it go. X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. X go. That's all about this. That's exactly what happened. You can look at that video and be like, well, if I listen to that song and I watch the raw footage of the Remembrance Day, with the thousands of zombies or whatever, you're like, yeah, something like that's happening. And then first we go on a rock, then we go to roll, then we let it pop, go, let it go. So we listen to some music, get in a good mood, inflate your balls, work on some real shit, get some shit done for the hood. Ain't never gave nothing to me, but every time I turn around, cats got their hands out wanting something from me. I ain't got it, so you can't get it. Let's leave it at that, because I ain't with it. It's the same thing. Needy, lying, bitchy, sketchy, creepy guys, right? Making more and making girls and kids act like that, right? It's the same thing. You can get into that, or DMX Party Up in Here. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. If I got to bring it to you cowards, it's gonna be quick, all right? All your mans up in the jail before can suck my dick. All the mother cats you run with get done with, done quick. How the fuck you gonna approach a dog on some bum shit, all right? Happens every day, every time I leave the house, same thing, right? So if you're over the age of 30, or if you recognize any of that music and so on, they're talking about you and what you're being turned into and what you're turning other people into and what you can stop if you relate to any of that stuff. And that stuff can help if we use it properly, or that happened. But remember, if you like any of that shit, they're talking about you and what you and other people are turning into and or being turned into. And then when you're being turned into that, acting like a bitch or a bitch's bitch who makes more bitches who make more bitches, instead of boys don't bitch out, let your boys, girls, or kids bitch out, that's the exact opposite of that. So I wanted to make that point clear because a lot of people like music and so on. And so it can certainly be a positive force in your lives. So if you see this sort of thing happening, you may even want to pass on some music to your bitchy buddy, your lying, bitchy, messed up buddy, right? I know I've recommended music for years as a guy with big balls who always, wanted to make sure, guys, had big balls and were cool or whatever. I used to recommend 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying album, for example, right? Go to a buddy's place, back in the days, way back in the day when that album came out, about around that time. And my buddy's good guy. Journalist, decent job, hip in his own way, but he's listening to some whiny white guy music in his little shitty basement apartment, some Built to Spill or something. He's like, hey, I remember it was so much fun to be young, but now things kind of suck and I feel dumb. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. So I said, listen, man, look, I'm just going to lend you a copy of 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying, right? And he goes, why? It's not my thing. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like any rap music, but I'm like, no, you understand, dude. This is good for your balls. It's good for your mood. And you can still listen to Built to Spill or whatever other shit you want to listen to, some whiny indie white guy music or whatever. But this is good for your balls. It'll even help you enjoy that more, and it'll get you out of your depressing funk you're in, right? So I gave him Get Rich or Die Trying. I've given probably a half a dozen guys, loaned them that album. I've done other albums. And my buddy, he said, it's good. That's good. Well, you're right. He respected me for that, right? And conversely, that exact same buddy, when I was living with him at one point, shortly after university, I was acting like a bitch. I wasn't going on and on. I wasn't forcing him to put up with me. I was just bitching a little bit. And as soon as I started bitching a little bit, he fucking killed that shit. But I was bitching. It happens, right? But again, you shouldn't bitch out. Let your boys bitch out, girls or kids bitch out, right? So it'll happen. If I do it, well, someone should stop me. If someone else does it, someone should stop them. And you should try and stop yourself, or someone should stop you. It's nothing, right? So after university, I said to, I was just chilling on the couch. I sit on my couch, sitting on his couch, TV's on, some music's playing, we're just chilling out or whatever. And I was like, man, I miss university. I miss pub nights, man, because you used to see the same friends every Thursday night on pub night, and and that was so much fun, and it was the same group of people. And now in the big city, after we graduate from university and we're working jobs, it's like, it's big city, Toronto, and people are going all over the place, and people have different social circles, so you don't see the same groups of friends all the time. I miss it. And my buddy, same guy basically, said to me, hey, don't be a bitch, right? In some version of don't be a bitch, right? And I was like, instead of going, hey, you're a jerk, I need to be a bitch, I need to make you put up with it until we're both bitches and bitches, I was just like, all right, man, what's up? I shouldn't be a bitch, fair enough. What's your point? And he says, look, university was great, but you'll never go back. You can't go back, right? And you're young, you're single, you've got some money in your pocket, you're living in a cool place downtown, you'll never be more free, so just fuck it, just enjoy that. Just don't bitch about university. Yeah, you're right, but whatever, don't be a bitch, right? And I was like, you're right, done, stopped, finished, right? Yeah, just chill out, enjoy it. You're young, single, never be more free. You may have later on a wife or kids or whatever, and responsibilities and a mortgage and all this other shit. But right now, come on, go get some drinks, go get drunk, go meet a girl. Just don't bitch about not being in university anymore. I was like, yep, done. You're right, finished. It's all good, it happens. So, anyway, so that gives you an idea of some of that stuff. Now, another, and again, this video is called manforwars.com, lessons learned battling 5,000 zombies on Remembrance Day. Another point is the meaning of the words faggot and bitch are very important to see less of them, right? And I'm not saying the words themselves can be offensive, but the meanings of the word faggot and the meaning of the word bitch are very, very important, so you see less of them. Because it's not about being gay or about being woman. It's about being a wimp or a liar or a bully. It's about being wimps, liars, and bullies. That's the point, right? As Joe Rogan, for example, mixed martial arts commentator, comedian, and famous podcaster says, the word faggot came from what the word literally used to mean before it became an offensive word, for good or bad reasons in the culture, right? But the word faggot used to mean a bundle of sticks that wasn't tied together at the ends, right? So let's say you've got a bundle of sticks, say broomsticks, right? Or a bundle of branches, tree branches, right? You have a bundle of sticks. Let's say you have a bunch of broomsticks, right? And they're all circular, basically circular broomsticks like that. And you're holding, say, 50 broomsticks, in your hands, or 50 tree branches in your hands. And you didn't tie the ends, right? So a faggot in that sense is these things are sliding all over the place. You're trying to carry them. You're trying to carry these brooms. Okay, I've got all these branches, which I need for firewood, or whatever, for the camp we have or set up. And then they're sliding all over the place. They're long sticks, they're long sticks on top of each other. And as I walk and I shift my weight and I move, they're sliding all over the place, and they're cumbersome, and they're falling out of my arms, and all of a sudden 2 or 3 start sliding off, and 3 or 4 start sliding off, and they're all sliding off. They're all over the ground again. Fuck. Shit. Now I gotta pile these sticks all back together, try and carry them again, and oh shit, they're tipping. No, go, move a little bit more this way. That one's falling off. Oh shit, now that one's falling off. They all fall again, right? Because a fasci, as opposed to, which is like the columns you see outside, say, the White House in the United States, or the Roman columns in the Roman Colosseum, or in other buildings, that's called fasci or fascist, which means you take all those sticks, you tie them together so they become as one, right? We are different, but we are together as one. That's the fasci. But the word faggot means that they are all separate, right? They're not bound together. And that was a slang for a cumbersome woman. That's what men called each other when they said you're acting like a cumbersome woman, complaining and bitching too much and making things hell and being unnecessarily weak and wimpy and annoying and screwing us all up, right? So if you had a bunch of guys going hunting, right? And guys were like, let's say 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago or whatever, and guys are going hunting and they've got some bows and arrows, or they've got some other weapons, and they're sneaking around, right? And they're like, okay, we've got to be really careful and really quiet, sneaking up on these animals. Say 5, 6 guys going hunting, right? And then one of the guys is like, ow, my feet hurt. Ow, why are we doing this? I don't know. Hey, stop being a faggot. Stop acting like some miserable, cumbersome woman. Stop acting like some miserable, cumbersome woman, fucking up our hunting party, fucking up our hunting, right? We should never bring you, right? It's like carrying a bundle of sticks that just, you can't carry it comfortably, you can't keep it together, it's just sliding all over the place. It's a pain in the ass to have you here, right? We are trying to do something, right? Or if you're going to hunt a tiger, well, that tiger's killed, 3 people, in the village so far, or that bear, or whatever the hell it is, it's killed like 3 kids so far. It's coming up, and or that coyote, it's grabbing little kids as they're playing in front of their houses, and it's snatching them off. We've got to go kill that. And if one of the guys is like, just complaining, hey, don't be a faggot. Don't be a cumbersome bundle of sticks that's hard to carry, hard to keep up with, whatever, right? So that was the idea, is you should not be a cumbersome, burdensome, annoying, horrible version of a woman to fuck up what a bunch of guys are doing. So that's where the original meaning came from. And gay guys can sometimes call each other faggots when they're being bitches, when they're being shitty, when they're being whatever, whatever. But I know the common usage is a little bit like, oh, don't say that, whatever. I understand that, right? You can be sensitive to that. But the meaning of that is incredibly important, right? The meaning of faggot and the meaning of bitch. Because you can't say, never use the word bitch. Guess what happens? Oh, everyone's a bitch. Everyone's a bitch, or a bitch is bitch, making more bitches who makes more bitches, right? Or everyone's a faggot. right? That's what you get. So when it comes to those specific words, of course, you can use better language, you can think of whatever, but the meaning of those words, not being a wimp or a liar or a bully or a selfish piece of shit, just getting attention for all the wrong reasons and making people all messed up, that is exceptionally important, right? So I wanted to put that out there as some food for thought when it comes to this exercise, because you can see what's happening in general, right, with people. And another point, as I said, people who aren't polite aren't worth shit, and what they say or do doesn't mean shit, right? If you're not polite, if you're not nice, if you're trying to bother people and make them put up with you, if you're being a jerk, if you're being a prick, if you're making people uncomfortable, then nothing you do means shit. You can talk to your wife, you can talk to your husband, you can talk to your kids, you can talk to your family, extended family, you can talk to your friends, you can talk to coworkers, you can talk to strangers. It's all garbage, right? It's like, if I say to a girl, hey, wow, you look really pretty, and I'm picking my nose and I don't give a shit about her, look at it and, you're such a pretty girl, I really like what you did with your hair. I'm picking my nose and looking at it and she's like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to take that? You're being an asshole. You're being a douchebag. You're making me put up with you picking your nose while you're trying to pay me a compliment? Well, fuck this. I can't trust a fucking thing you're saying, a fucking thing you're doing. Nothing you say or do is worth shit, right? And that's why people talk to each other less. They look at, talk to, listen to each other less. And instead of being quiet, uncomfortable zombies, like in the movies, just zombies who are kind of dormant. Zombies bumping into each other. Zombies pissing each other off. Hey! You want to wander around and attack people and try and make more zombies? Yeah, excited. Rah! Then that's the only thing they're excited to do, is to go bother other people, go bother strangers, and try to make more zombies. Because normally, when they're not polite with each other, what they look like doesn't mean shit. What they say doesn't mean shit, right? If a girl's like, hey, I'm hot, ha, put up with me. I'm like, you're fucking gross. You're not respecting me. I don't give a shit. I've been in strip clubs where I've been like, nope. Girl's like, I'm hot. I'm like, no, you're ugly. You're ugly. You're ugly, stressful, and confusing, and annoying. You're not worth shit. I don't care if you're fucking naked and you're fucking 10 and a half. If you don't respect me, then nothing you do is worth shit. Like, oh, come on. Nope. You be a nice girl sharing something with a nice guy, or fuck off. Keep my dick and my name out your mouth, and fuck off. I have no interest in this garbage. It's not worth anything. It's garbage. Right? So, broadly speaking, keep that in mind. Now, another point on this is that Canada as a country is only 151 years old. We started July 1st, 1867. 2017 was the 150th anniversary. And the only historically unifying feature that helped people connect was being polite, right? So back in the day, when there were British people and there were French people, right, they had to be unified in being polite Canadians who believed in being polite Canadians, so that unity was their strength. Diversity wasn't their strength. Unified in being polite people, polite groups of people who could communicate with and understand each other, and then negotiate something comfortable with each other. And so the British were like, hey, we're more British. And the Quebec were like, hey, we want to be more French. And as long as we're polite and nice to each other and we respect each other and communicate, we don't have to worry about that shit, right? But the baseline that keeps the 150-year-old country together. Not a country that's thousands of years old like China or India or something, but a 150-year-old country, the baseline was being polite, right? So it became with the original British and French settlers who sort of formed the country, and Scottish and so on, and others like that, and the natives, of course. They all had to be polite, European manners and standards. So they'd be like, wait a second, not going to lie, can look you in the eye, right? Not going to be on some sheepish sideways shit. Firm handshake, right? Confident masculine strength. Meets and confirms the same. Confident feminine vulnerability. Guys, cool. Polite and brief. Stay busy or friendly to be respected. Out of the way, on the way. Girls, give them more space. Girls, why thank you, sir. You noticed I was a girl and you were nice to me, so I will be attractive in good company and I'll put us both in a better mood. And, guys like, well, good day, ma'am, And the use of the word sirs and ma'ams and all that stuff, that's what kept us together. And so if you destroy that, there's nothing else. It's all garbage. Right? And the Antifa-style commie-zombie brainwashing is you're supposed to think everything sucked, history sucked, past sucked, everything sucked, and if you don't act like a commie-zombie, then you're a Nazi. if you believe that our history was cool and that people were cool and that, religion was cool and race and culture and gender or whatever, then you're obviously a Nazi. You're obviously a Nazi, right? So if you're not a commie zombie who thinks everything sucked and we have to destroy everything and replace it with, some new communism, global new world order, then you're obviously a Nazi who's scum. You don't think everything sucked? You don't think we were all racist, sexist, phobic? The most nice, polite people in the world? As comedian Owen Benjamin says, if you really are racist, sexist, or phobic, that shit doesn't work on you. Right? You're like, racist, damn right I am. Sexist, damn right I am. Phobic, damn right I am. But if you aren't, you don't want to be, then you say, I don't want to be. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Right? So, so the commie zombie type shit is what strips everybody of respect for who they are, where they live, all the ideas and institutions that bound them together, right? All of that is stripped away. And then you've got the Antifa-style commie zombies. Like, I have no respect for anyone, anything. No one respects me. And then, Antifa-style commie zombies. Everything sucks. If you're not an Antifa-style commie zombie who thinks everything sucks, who makes sure everyone's a commie zombie, then you're a fucking Nazi. Yeah. It's like, hey, the native residential schools. Yeah, Canadians used to rape and kill Aboriginal kids. No, we did not. A handful of satanic pedophile elites at the top, including some British royal family and others, and Canadian sort of local establishment royalty, they took kids for their pedophile satanic rituals to rape them and kill them and drink their blood and try and stay young and whatever evil shit, or corrupt them all and bind them together in their stupid pervert pedophile satanist clubs. And then our miserable weak-lying bitchy man, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, comes out and blames all the rest of us for it. All 35 million Canadians for it. Canada's had a horrible history with the natives. No, it was your dad and other elitist fucking club in the 30s, 40s, 50s. It was some scumbags at the top that had this fucking policy, that treated people like this. It wasn't, now 35 million Canadians are all guilty of raping and sodomizing Aboriginal children and separating them from their families and not letting them speak their language and destroying their culture. No, we were not. No, we are not all guilty. We do not all have collective guilt over that. You identify the handful of assholes, you make sure they're not still doing assholish behavior, and you either lock them up or kick them out of the country. That's it. But instead, they brainwash and everyone say, oh, Canadians are all guilty for how horrible we treated the natives. No, we did not. No, we did not. But they can do that to us with the brainwashing if we don't resist. And if we're not polite, and we can't communicate, especially, offline about what we learn online, then this shit just sticks. This shit just sticks and fucks people up, right? Or if you try and say something different, you're like, you know what, I have a different opinion. And people are like, oh, no. Either they're like, oh, no, uncomfortable, don't say anything. Or they're like, really? Oh, you're confident? You're happy? You're badass? You're really worth bothering like a pretend lying, bitchy, sketchy zombie girlfriend. You're really worth bothering until we're quiet and uncomfortable and don't like each other. Well, fuck. I was just about to fix this shit for you. You fucked us up, right? So that's what happens. Stuff like that happens. So that's why the politeness is so important. Canada's only 151 years old, and so that's our defining, unifying characteristic. And if you go back, if you're over the age of 30, for God's sakes, you can remember polite Canadian was the term, right? Polite Canadian, polite Canadian, polite Canadian. It's not like polite Canadian. What are you talking about? That's crazy. Polite Canadians? Nah, nobody's ever heard of that. No, that is what the Canadians were known as. That was our defining feature. So that's why it's being destroyed right now. To destroy Canada, the globalist, super rich people want to weaken countries and people, bring in a new world order, global governance structure, that to destroy countries for that, turn certain countries into jokes that are easy to destroy and bring into the global governance structure, and then other countries that are more nationalist versus globalist that say, nope, we want a bunch of strong countries around the world, promote nationalism worldwide, so a bunch of great countries with great people are great places to live or visit or migrate to in slow, controlled, comfortable, organic immigration growth, not this radical change everything, don't say anything about how it's going to be done or how it's going to be done well or you're a racist, haha, we destroyed your country, haha, that type of shit. No, right? So, that's the point, is that certain nationalist countries, like Hungary, Trump's America, and so on, they look at countries like Sweden, where everyone's all gender fucked up and everyone's all, yes, yes, no matter what the migrants do, even if they rape you, go on TV and say it wasn't so bad to have migrants here. It's okay, and they teach little boys to be little girls and little girls to be little boys, and they don't get along with each other. Or Canada, right? If your kid decides to be trans in Ontario with Bill C-89, Bill 89, you as a parent aren't allowed to talk to that kid. The teacher with 35 kids in the class might go, yeah, I saw him put some red crayon on his lips. I think he wants to be a girl. We're going to stick him in the change him into a girl machine. He's like 5, 6 years old. Let's get him started young. And you as a parent can't go, stop, wait, let me have a conversation. It's my kid. That's supposed to be abusing the child, right? So other countries hear about that and go, Jesus Christ, look at Canada. Look at their miserable, weak-lying, bitchy man prime minister. Holy fuck. You see why we don't do that? You see why we don't do that? That's why. Look at Canada. Look at Sweden. Look at that. Look at the fucking shit they're turning into and the shit they're letting their place turn into. Look at that shit, right? So that's why it's important to defend, Canadian politeness as the baseline, from coast to coast of how different people unify and get along, and then mind their own business comfortably or earn each other's respect and learn more about each other and appreciate the diversity. Diversity is not our strength. Diversity can be appreciated once you have unity. If you don't have unity, then diversity is just paranoia, because it's like, it's different, we're all different, don't really understand, don't really communicate well, worried about it. Do we need more diversity? Are we always not diverse enough? Do we have to keep destroying and diluting our culture with anybody that wants to come in? No, 35 million people here, but you know what? We're not diverse enough. Let's let in 150 million people. Yeah, don't worry about where they're from or what they're doing. You have no right to say that. Don't worry about how it's going to go. Don't worry about how much it's going to cost. Don't worry about who we're letting in. Don't worry about us doing proper background checks. Don't worry about whether or not they have polite Canadian and Western values. Don't worry about whether they'll get a job. Don't say shit. Just let 150 million people in here, lots of room, and just shut up, right? If you do that, then it's all garbage. It'll all turn to garbage, right? And that's, basically stuff like that is the plan. So, that's why 151-year-old country like Canada needs to preserve, its world famous defining characteristic. And then once we're all unified and being polite, ladies and gents, 95% of people straight, great at it. LGBT can also be good at it, whatever. Otherwise, someone's an asshole. Fuck off, buddy. Not worth it. Then you can appreciate different, not just diversity on the surface level, like you look different, your skin's different, your hair's different, but diversity of individuals, individual thinkers. We can have a group of white people or black people or Hispanic or Asian or brown or whatever, or gay or trans, but the diversity is them as individuals as well as being part of certain groups, right? That you can only appreciate when you're nice and polite with each other. Otherwise, it's just paranoia, right? It's just politically correct social constipation, trouble talking, gender neutralization, trouble acting like men and women, and then you're just paranoid about what to say and what to do near each other. So all that diversity is garbage. You don't know how to treat each other, and it keeps changing because you have to keep compensating for not being diverse enough. As opposed to, no, slow down. We're a bunch of nice people. We don't need to be more diverse. We just need to be cool. If we're cool, then we'll slowly and comfortably and organically grow and change and evolve our culture so that our great house party continues being a great house party, and we slowly and comfortably add people to it in ways that don't screw everything up, and when we have enough resources for ourselves to make sure we're all cool. Not 1 in 4 kids in Toronto lives in child poverty, right? So why are we letting in fucking millions of people from around the world if 1 in 4 kids here are living in child poverty? What the fuck is that, right? But again, that's how they bully people. And if people aren't polite, they can't talk about it. So you just keep getting bullied, right? And then you bully each other because you're turned into a piece of crap. Where you live is crap, and that's all you do, right? So that's super important. Another part of it is gender, as traditional ladies and gentlemen, is the most important ingredient to be polite, right? You respect somebody and are respected by somebody based on gender and an affirmation of gender, based on the use of sirs and ma'ams. It still happens, right? If you have you listen to podcasts or you listen to random things, right? And people will still say, even though it's not as much in style, "Thank you, sir." Well, it was great having you on the podcast. It's been a long time. I really appreciate it. Hey, no problem. You know what? I'd love to do it again. Well, thank you, sir. That "thank you, sir" on the end of that, when this guy wanted to get a good podcast guest on, was the way of confirming the respect, right? Or "thank you, ma'am," or "miss," or "honey." All of that. And that's even with straight, gay, trans, whatever. It's all the same, right? Gender is a huge part of being polite. When you strip that away, and everyone's like, hey guys, or hey bro, nice purse. Hey guys, that's a nice purse. It's like, no, no, no. If you can't trigger being nice to each other. Now you don't have to be top hat and tails and monocle and all that, but a lot of these accents are based on gender, confident masculine strength, feminine vulnerability, or you don't have it. You don't know you're being nice and polite with each other because you don't say and do that, right? Sheepish, sideways shit, don't know how to act, social constipation, trouble talking, gender neutralization, trouble acting like men and women, right? So gender is a huge part of being nice and polite people who know they respect each other. When I text somebody, texting back and forth or whatever, sometimes that'll come up, and we'll just do it for fun. We'll do it as a joke, good day, good Sarah, and I still say ma'am or sir or miss. I was just on the phone today with somebody. I had to take care of some little thing. And, she said, Mr. with my, last name. And I said, well, Miss, with her first name as I was talking to her. And then she got softer. She was like, oh, whatever. I was like, thank you. And then the softer she got, the softer I got. And then we were just really friendly. And at the end of our little phone call, which is basically me making a customer service phone call, which could have been just some crappy, I can't believe I got to do this customer service phone call. Instead, it was two nice people, a nice man and a nice woman, recognizing that I'm a nice man and me recognizing that she's a nice woman, and as part of that recognition, being nicer people to each other. And by the end of the phone call, it was, well, listen, it was lovely speaking with you, Miss So-and-so. Thank you for your time and have a great day. And she was like, oh, and her voice was all sweet and nice. And she's like, oh, thank you very much. I was like, bye-bye. And she's like, okay, bye. And she was very, very, very sweet, right? For a customer service call where I was essentially complaining about something. But again, nice to each other, so it didn't matter, right? It was no big deal. I mean, gender is a big part of that, right? So, definitely got to keep that in mind. Now, and number 9, and you can clearly see this, and I've shouted this out, and the bulk of this is a bit repetitive, but it's proof. The lack of respect, is what turns people into zombies. And I mean almost literally zombies, right? And that is, if you look at zombie movies, zombie TV shows, if you look at TV show like The Walking Dead, or if you look at zombie movies like World War Z with Brad Pitt, or 28 Days Later, a bunch of the traditional zombies, right? Zombies are quiet, ugly, used to be people near each other, right? Quiet, ugly, uncomfortable. They don't look at each other. They don't talk to each other. They're just quiet, ugly, uncomfortable. They used to be people near each other, right? Quiet, ugly, uncomfortable, used to be people, now turned into zombies. And so when they're together, they don't look at each other. They don't talk to each other. They're just uncomfortable near each other. And then when they have a chance to run at humans and try and turn them into zombies, that's when they get super excited, right? That's when they get run at you, run at people. Right? That's when they freak out, right? And the more human you are, the more zombies want to attack you, right? So, so for example, in this current kind of zombie climate, I know a couple guys, a couple people that don't want to go full zombie, right? But they are not taking the hard anti-zombie stance that I am. And so what they'll do with people that are super into zombieing is they'll just zombie back and forth a little bit. And I think people do this. So it'll be like, hey, zombie spaz bother you? Hey, you nearby, zombie spaz bother you? And then buddy will be like, hey, yeah, ear flick, nose pick, hat tip, yeah, ear flick, yeah, nose pick, yeah, hat tip, yeah, here you, I got you, zombie, zombie, and they'll just spaz out a bit. I've been with buddy at Starbucks or whatever, and I'm just holding up a napkin or something, and I'm focusing on my buddy, and I'm cool, chilling, and whatever. And my buddy's not that, obnoxious with it, but people are walking by like, hey, you seem like a cool guy. You guys are getting along. You're nice to each other. Zombie want to bother you, spaz out and bother you, right? So buddy will just, nose pick and ear flick and hat tip and nose pick and ear flick and hat tip, and just do some random spazzing to zombie with the zombie, and then the zombie's happy, gets spazzed with, and then goes away, right? And so people are almost literally turning into zombies in the sense of being quiet, ugly, uncomfortable people near each other who don't look at or talk to each other much and are just, not comfortable near each other, and then get super excited to spaz out and bother people. and bother strangers and try and make more zombies, right? That's when they get super excited. And, you know, I've done some demonstrations in Bay Street in Toronto, the financial district, where some of the smartest, most successful people in Canada work, explaining all this while zombies acted out. I did this again on Remembrance Day, November 11th, 2018, at the Eaton Centre, downtown Toronto, Canada, with 5,000 zombies. I showed how the more human you act, the more zombies want to attack and turn you into a zombie, right? So, you know, for example, if I'm like, quiet, crumpled, bitchy, pussy man, messed up, sheepish, sideways, whatever, then the zombies won't really want to attack. But I'm like, hey, happy, confident guy, it's a great day in Toronto, top 10 city in the world, top 10 country in the world, happiest place for every boy and girl. Boom, boom, boom. And the zombies go crazy. Go, you're really worth bothering. You happy, nice person. So worth. They just go nuts. They go absolutely insane. And they just freak out and just love to attack you and try and force you to put up with them. And you know, you're really worth bothering and turning into a zombie, right? And it's very similar to that scene in the movie World War Z with Brad Pitt, right? It's a very famous scene, probably the defining scene of the movie, actually, where Brad Pitt is in Israel and in Jerusalem, and there's a huge wall. It's like a 500-foot wall, fortress basically. It's got walls on all sides, and there's like a giant fortress that's 500 feet walls, really tall walls, right? Zombies are human size, average height, 5'10", 6'1", 5'3", whatever, right? Humans turning into zombies, average size, right? So there's a 500-foot wall, and outside that wall there's a bunch of zombies, and inside that wall there's a bunch of survivors of the zombie apocalypse in the movie World War Z with Brad Pitt, right? And so Brad Pitt is behind the wall, and he's talking to this guy, and he's saying, I must get to India. I must find the source of the zombie virus. My friend, he says to Brad Pitt, my friend, I'm afraid India's all screwed up. You can't go to India. It's all screwed up, all zombies. Brad Pitt's like, but I've got to find a way to stop this zombie epidemic. He's all worried. He's trying to stop the zombie epidemic, right? And outside the wall, there are zombies, but it's fairly quiet, right? And the zombies are just bumping into each other and bumping into the wall. There's just a couple of them bump up against the wall. I know there's humans in there, and I just sort of want to bother them, but it's a big, tall wall. So they're just sort of randomly, just lazily throwing themselves at the wall and wandering around and bumping into each other. They're not that stimulated to attack humans because it's a big, tall wall. The humans aren't very close, so it's just kind of like, whatever, zombieing around, it's okay. But then, behind the wall in Jerusalem, in the movie World War Z, in this scene, there's a bunch of people there, Middle Eastern people of some background, singing in a foreign tongue, and they start singing, hey, we are happy, we are free, no zombies can get at me. We are happy, we are free, no zombies can get at me. Thank God we are safe, thank God we are safe. We are so happy to be in this place, right? And the people behind the wall start singing, right? And as they start singing, the ground starts rumbling, right? The ground starts rumbling, right? And then Brad Pitt's talking to this other doctor guy about the zombie epidemic and whatever. And then he starts going, wait, because they start hearing the rumbling, because the zombies are starting to get activated. The zombies are like, whoa, look at how fucking happy those people are. Holy shit, I really want to attack them and turn them into zombies. The zombies are fucking, wait a minute. Those not just quiet and they're far away. They're fucking happy. I really want to attack happy people, nice happy people, and turn them into zombies. Super want to do that. So the zombies... and Brad Pitt starts with the people singing. Brad Pitt starts saying, it's too loud. You're too loud. You're too loud. He starts screaming, you're too loud. He's trying to get him to stop singing. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Don't stimulate the zombies anymore. And people in the zombie apocalypse epidemic in general, you'll know that if you're walking, looking good, if you're looking, walking, talking, and feeling good, you're more likely to be bothered by zombies. So it's better to be weak, lying, bitchy, sketchy, crumpled, pussy man. If you're at work, right? I went to a Radio Shack, The Source, called The Source in Toronto at the Eaton Centre, and I saw some big black guy. He was on the phone there, right? And I saw some other weirdo bothering people, just ignore. And then this big black guy's on the phone, right? And I show up to him. I'm like, that's cool, man. I'll wait. I'll respect your time. Just finish your phone call. I just want some help when you're done, You know, it's kind of signal. It's all good. So he's looking at me like, huh, you showed me respect, and you're not trying to make me uncomfortable while I'm on this phone call. So this big black guy, and he was acting like a crumpled bitch. He was sitting down, right? And he was a little bit not as confident as a big black guy would be. He's a little bit like, yep, fashionably, bitchy, sketchy, crumpled, weak line, bitchy, sketchy, crumpled pussy man, right? You know, it's whatever, right? And I was like, no, I just walked over to him because he wasn't trying to mess with me and I wasn't trying to mess with him. I was like, that's cool, man. I'll wait. Finish your phone call with your customer. Appreciate your time. It's all good. You know, I just kind of let him finish his phone call and stood there and just ignored him basically while just being cool. And so the guy was like, all right. So the guy finished his phone call, right? And then he finished his phone call and then he sized me up. He's like, wait a minute. You're not a rude line, bitchy, sketchy zombie guy trying to bother me, and I don't have to be a rude line, bitchy, sketchy zombie guy trying to bother you? You know, that was the sort of sizing up. That wasn't actually said. But in terms of looking at people, looking at you, when you can look at each other, you're not trying to make each other comfortable. You actually look at each other and kind of get a general understanding of how you feel about each other, right? And I was like, man, it's totally cool, man. I just appreciate your time whenever you're ready. And so the guy, this big black guy, who's kind of crumpled, you know, kind of hunched over a bit, you know, whatever, shrunken a bit, he just rose to his full 6'5", 225-pound, giant, muscly, good-looking black god height. And I was like, holy shit, man, look at you. You're a fucking god. Like the guy's a fucking god. Like 6'5", 225, big, muscly, good-looking black guy. Guys like, oh, I could only dream. And girls like, wee, amusement park, wee, so much fun, right? But he wasn't normally, because again, if you don't respect each other, then you got to keep your head down and whatever, right? So anyway, but that's the, and then I taught, you know, he was like, well, yeah, how can I help you, man? And so we looked at some headphones and had a nice conversation. We respected each other, kept it moving, right? So you understand, I bring that point up to say, for survival skills, it's better to be weak, lying, bitchy, sketchy, crumpled pussy man or pussy girl. No, everything miserable, not happy, not that much worth bothering. No, really worth. But if you're happy, if you're confident, happy, attractive, whatever, then really worth bothering to try and turn into a zombie by people turning into zombies, making more zombies, right? So back to the World War Z scene. So Brad Pitt is behind the wall in Jerusalem, 500-foot high wall, you know, talking to this other guy. Some of the other people behind that wall start singing. They're all happy. They're safe from the zombie apocalypse. The zombies outside the wall. They think the walls are really tall. But when they start singing, we are happy, we are free, zombies cannot get at me, you know, thank God we are free, the zombies can't get at me. The zombies get super aroused. And they're like, brr, brr, and so they start running at the wall. They run at the side of the wall. And they start climbing over each other. They don't give a shit. They just climb on top of each other. They scale each other. And they form a giant zombie kind of tower. A tower of zombies, you know, just clawing at each other, you know, to try and climb over each other, to climb over the wall, to attack the nice, happy people and turn them into zombies. When the people were not saying anything, when they're just quiet and, whew, I'm glad we're just chilling and the zombies are outside and we're not saying anything and they're pretty far away and the wall's pretty tall. The zombies were just kind of lazily, they might run at the wall a little bit, bump into it, slide down, bump into each other. They didn't care that much. But when the people demonstrated they were happy and confident and good looking and they whatever, then the zombies went crazy to try to attack those people and turn them into zombies. And so they formed a giant zombie tower. They started spilling over the wall. Soldiers started shooting at them. But the zombies kept coming. They climbed over the wall and they started attacking all the people. Right? And, you know, and you can see this on video if you'd like, in the raw footage of the Man for Wars 2018 Remembrance Day special, Saving Polite Canadians. It's the same thing with the 5,000 zombies at the Eaton Center, or the, you know, 500 zombies in Bay Street, or other zombies, you know, I've shown, where in Toronto, Canada, and I'm sure elsewhere where it's going on, where they do the exact same thing, where and I proved it. I was like, hey, you know, I was like, not like, grumpy guy, this sucks. And they're like, yeah, zombie, bother you. But if you're like, you know, or, you know, but if you're like, happy, they're like, we really want to bother you, And I was like, see, watch, look what happens, right? You know, happy saying, this is a great place, I'm having a great Sunday. Yeah. It's, I really want to bother you. I really want to turn you into zombies. I used to be a human too. All I will do is make you a zombie. They get super excited to bother you, right? So it's the same thing when it comes to people now. And that's what I mean by people are almost literally turning into zombies. And when it comes to that, when people can't look at each other or talk to each other, or they're not nice to each other, or they make each other uncomfortable, and everything they say and do is garbage, then they might not be able to, then they might start biting each other. Because what else do you do with your mouth, right? The people running at you right now to bump into you and freak you out and force you to put up with them, or the people walking near you and spazzing out and forcing you to barely tolerate them, when they can't talk to each other, they might start biting when it comes to what else you do with your mouth. Right? So that's what I mean by people are almost literally being turned into zombies. Almost literally being turned into zombies based on those examples, right? And you know, there's more to where that comes from. Now, the final point I'll make on this is polite patriotism is the key to taking the online info war offline, right? The people, the sheeple, whoever, if you make sure they're generally nice, and they make sure that there are nice people around that can talk to each other and be helpful. Not about hardcore political shit or conspiracy shit or what the fuck is going on shit or border security shit or lower taxes shit or get rid of the central banking system shit or fuck these satanic pedophiles, let's get them shit. Not that. Just normally nice to each other and talk to each other and be helpful. Not just, oh, you can be helpful? You can want to be nice to me? Fuck you. I want to make you into a zombie. Yeah, really worth turning into a zombie. Yeah, bother you. Ha, ha, ha. Right? Because then they can't do shit for each other. Just normal people can't do shit for each other. Or the shit they do for each other is just garbage because the main point is to bother each other like zombies, right? And then from there, patriots can come along and they can add more to the party, right? So ideally, polite patriotism, you say, hey, we should all be nice to each other. Not we should get bad guys, but we should all be nice to each other. Nice, polite, proud, patriotic people where we live. This is what we do. This is what we don't do. This is how we like it. And this is what we make sure of, that we like it. So that if you're a man or a woman or a child anywhere in Canada and other places around the world can use this example, then we make sure that we're polite. That doesn't mean mess with people. Doesn't mean make people uncomfortable with what you know, what you do. Doesn't mean any of that stuff, right? It means that we are nice, polite people who politely acknowledge each other and then mind our business, or politely acknowledge each other and then look at and talk to each other. We earn respect by not bothering people, and then we don't worry about it when we do look at and talk to each other, right? And that's generally, you make sure that's generally cool. And then from there, patriots can add more to the party. So normal people, normal sheeple, can be like, hey, I saw this on the internet. This might help you. And like, really? You're not fucking with me? I'm not fucking with you? No. Cool. Right? And it could be anything. And then you can add to that political stuff and other important stuff. And then patriots will have a safe space to operate offline. Because it used to be okay. I mean, people like it or don't, but it used to be okay, right? The offline info war was really big. 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2009, 2010. After 9/11, people walking around with giant 9/11 wasn't inside jobs. And people were like, they might have a point. So people were like, oh, they're crazy, but nobody cared, right? Because people could do that, right? Like you could actually be a polite patriot, offline, right? And then as people get more socially constipated and gender neutralized, have more trouble respecting each other and talking, it becomes all online, right? And then you've got, say, 50 in Canada, say 50 hardcore patriots, right? Michael Arena, Adam Daniel Mazet, Faith Goldie, you could throw me on that list if you want. If you think I deserve it. If you don't, fuck it, don't worry about it. But you might have 50 people in Canada, right? Talking to 50,000 to 500,000 people in Canada about what's really going on and what we can do. And then people on Twitter, on YouTube comments, this is an outrage. Trudeau's selling out this country. We've got to get out of the UN Global Compact on Migration, where they want to destroy countries around the world and they want to take over as a world government. And tweeting and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And it comments on YouTube videos. This is great. And then offline, zombies. Nothing but zombies, right? So you can have all this bitching online, and it's constructive. I'm not trying to bitch. Rebel Media does a great job. There's a handful of others, but you might have like 50 people, 50 people or groups in Canada, 50, 100, groups in Canada, and then 50,000, 500,000 people in a country of 35 million people, 25 million plus adults, something like that, right? And you can't do shit, right? You can talk to each other. You can feel a little better because you get it off your chest, but you can't do shit with it offline with everybody else, right? And so, and so that's why it's super important. Or even in America, right? Where you have, I mean, America's a bit different because they got Trump in, and they got a lot more independent media competing. If you don't like this flavor, you can try that flavor, blah, 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 and so on. A lot more stuff getting done, but it's the same thing there. It might be like, well, say 500, 5,000, say 5,000. Say in Canada it's 50 to 500. Say in America it's 5 or 10,000, right? 5 or 10,000 or even 50,000, right? Independent media organizations and others that are putting information out. You got Breitbart News, you got Daily Wire, you got Daily Caller, you got, Infowars.com, you get a whole bunch of stuff, right? And they reach, say, 5 million people, say 50 million people. Say they reach 50 million. Say 50,000 people reach 50 million people. There's still 335 million people in America. So if those people, can't reach the rest of those people, and they can't do anything offline because they don't respect each other, and they can't, even normal stuff is uncomfortable, right? You say the same thing, it's boring, but you say something different, it's scary, it's weird. Don't say anything different. So it's like, fuck it. Let's just be weird and creepy near each other. Who gives a shit, right? Then you've got some problems, right? But if you promote being polite, patriotic people in Canada, America, Europe, elsewhere, then you say, no, we are all nice to each other. We respect each other. We can talk to each other. Because I remember they used to be the same way in Canada, right? I've known some shit. I've been a little bit experienced for a while. And I remember people, guys with balls, which I appreciate, and girls sometimes, especially guys with balls, but girls too. They would defend their mainstream news, right? They're not stupid. This is just what they learned, and what they learned made sense, and you would just compare. So, for example, the Iraq War in 2003, and you're like, well, they had no WMDs, and it's like, well, I think they did. Then you'd actually talk about it. And I don't care if some guy tells me he watches CNN and he wants to argue with me, whereas I'm like, I listen to people that make fun of CNN and that talk about how CNN's bullshit, right? But if we can respect each other and talk, then it's not a big deal, right? And you can agree to disagree. I don't care if that guy puts his balls into it and says, hey, God damn it, this is the way it is, this is what happens, this is what I saw on CNN, and I'd be like, hey, listen, God damn it, and they're full of shit, and blah, 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 messing with people. But we could talk to each other because we respected each other. And so you could inform people, you could get into things. And even if you didn't agree, I could talk about that, could talk about global warming, could talk about anything. And be like, well, this might be bullshit. And Buddy was like, well, even if it's all bullshit, at least we're doing something. Isn't it better to do something than nothing? And I was like, well, no, because if we do the wrong thing, it's just going to screw us. It's going to cost us money. It's going to waste time and resources. And real environmental problems are going to go to shit. So while your water turns to shit and your air turns to shit, you're going to worry about what the weather's like in 20 years, and you're going to use less fucking plastic, or you're going to live in a little mud hut and ride a bicycle because it might be bad in 20 years, right? So we could go back and forth on this stuff when we were nice and polite and respected each other. And even if you didn't convince people, you respected the fact that you were nice to each other and you could communicate well. And then from there, it gave people the opportunity to share more information with more people, right? So that's why polite patriotism is the key to taking the online info war offline, right? You won't just be herded into little digital ghettos where you're like, I'm on Twitter talking to 50 friends, maybe, or when we talk less and less and we use emojis more and more, or we talk in pictures. This is how I think. Look at this picture. Look at this animated GIF. Or this is how I feel. See this sad smiley face, or see this happy smiley face. Any one of 7 billion people on Earth could use this face to express how they feel, as opposed to individually saying, well, I am typing using my own words and my own thoughts and the language I speak, and I am constructing my own sentences to represent how I feel, not just, see this face? Yeah, you know what that face means. Everybody uses that face, and everybody knows what it means, because we're all the same. We're all zombies, right? As that sort of thing happens, or as more social media is out there, you've got to use more social media and keep up with more social media. You've got to say less and less to more and more people, and you barely talk to each other in snarky, bitchy blurts. And then the online censorship and shadow banning, and of course online sock puppets and government agencies and so on. You might be talking to robots half the time if you're just writing in 2 little words, or you go to Instagram feeds, and Instagram's just hot girl pic or whatever, some crap on there, and then just a bunch of people just randomly, furiously going, Crazy freak out, crazy freak out. Wow, woo-wee, nicey, N-I-C with 4 E's and 15 fire emojis. You could be talking to robots doing that. That's not people, comfortably expressing themselves using thoughts and words and ideas and as individuals, right? So, and plus the shadow banning and the censorship of social media, Google censorship, YouTube censorship. I've lost channels. YouTube account gone because I can help people get along. Twitter account gone. Suspended. Plus shadow banning. Maybe nobody wants to say, well, yeah, you can put it out there, but we'll just make sure that nobody can see it. And then he'll get bummed out and he won't put it out there anymore because he thinks no one likes him. They do that to other, people as well, right? So the digital ghettos that people are stuck in, where their efforts are not like, hey, we know what's going on and we're going to let everyone know. It's more like, we know what's going on and we need a place to bitch about it. That's what it turns into, as opposed to, we know what's going on and we're going to organize a way to let everybody else know. And if they like it and they agree, great. If they don't, and they convince us we're wrong, great. If they don't want to pay attention, fuck it, who cares, right? It is what it is. So all that sort of thing is kind of stunted by the zombie apocalypse, the zombie phenomena, by the not being polite, by being rude, sketchy zombies, making more zombies who make more zombies, right? So the future of where you live could just be destroyed by all this shit because people are brainwashed, people are fucked up and fucking with each other. And then if you try and say, hey, I want to, I'm somebody that knows a little bit more about what's going on and I want to share it, you're just more worth bothering and turning into a zombie. So it's better for even patriots to turn into zombies. And I know, that I talk about this stuff. I've had stuff on YouTube channels, BitChute channels. There's people in Toronto, 25,667 people voted for Ms. Faith Goldy, Faithgoldy. She came in third running for mayor. She's a hardcore nationalist, not a racist. She's a hardcore, border security, but not a racist, just wants to make sure we don't fuck up our house party. She's hardcore, conservative and law enforcement and protect everything that we care about here. And she got 25,667 votes. Now, that election might have been fucked up and fudged. She was banned from debates, not allowed to advertise, given almost no media coverage save for a couple of hit pieces, followers kicked off Twitter, and really given a rough ride by the process. And even when it comes to her final vote count, 25,667, that's very close to 666, which means it could be sort of a wink inside joke to, Satanists, Masonic, whatever, people out there to say, see how much control we have? See, we signed it. We signed it 666. We can't say actually 25,666. That's way too obvious. But if we say 25,667 votes, then you get the idea. You know what I'm saying? So fellow people out there who are evil in the culture, trying to work for evil and do things, have faith. Look at how much we can fuck with people and not have them know or realize or do shit. Don't you feel stronger and prouder and part of the evil club? Just like we put up the, Masonic statues places, the Hermaphrodite Masonic cop at 40 College Street, Toronto Police Services headquarters, just west of Yonge and College. In downtown Toronto, Canada, where there's a cop that's not a guy, not a girl. It's it's both. It's not really a guy or a girl, right? Very, very slim shoulders, very, very slim arms, very, very slim torso, then thick, bubbly legs and butt, longish hair past the collar, sort of masculine-ish, feminist features. No boobs, but you could put them there. They'd be fine. And for a statue, why not make him more Batman-like, more broad shoulders, more whatever. It's a statue finishing off a pyramid with 2 bricks left. But instead, it's a hermaphrodite statue. It could be a chick cop, could be a guy cop, it could be either one. It's sort of part guy, part girl, and it's got a haunted, blank look on its face, and it's finishing off a pyramid. And I've got some videos, about this statue as well on my channels, right? Or on my one channel. YouTube got rid of the other one. But the point is that they could put that there, and they could put a hermaphrodite cop, not quite a guy, not quite a girl, right where everybody can see it, near a busy intersection, near Yonge and College, just a couple of blocks west of Yonge and College, in downtown Toronto, Canada. Busy area, right? And it's on the street. It's literally on, the north side of College Street, about 15 feet north of the sidewalk. And they could put this statue of a half guy, half girl cop creature finishing off a pyramid with 2 bricks left. And if nobody says, why is it there? Why does it look like that? Who put it there? What does it mean? Everyone's like, no. then the people, the Masons and the others who are, sort of as part of this club can go, see, look at the rest of the sheeple. Look at how dumb they are. We put that shit right there. They can't say shit. They're scared to say shit, or they're whatever, or they're not supposed to, or they feel weird, or they're weak, or they're pussies. So fuck them, right? Fuck them. They're garbage anyway, right? So fuck them, right? And, you're on this side. You're on this team, so you know how it is, right? So there's things like that going on, and things like that we can kind of beat as part of this process. So polite patriotism is the key to informing and empowering people where you live, and taking the online info war offline. And based on what you can see with respect to the work that I've done, in mixed company with a bunch of people, or the work that I've done, here, kind of breaking some of that down, you can sort of see, well, the math seems to work out all right. So for people out there that care about about the future and where they live and people and so on, this is supposed to help with that. For people that don't, zombies, want to make more zombies, it is what it is. Hopefully they can be saved from being zombies who make more zombies. Whatever. But this is the type of thing that can work, and I've proven it can work even with the zombies. Because you might just be like, whatever, and I gotta wake up tomorrow morning and be a lying, bitchy, sketchy zombie who's kind of quietly uncomfortable at work near people, and just rude and sketchy, and every time someone's happy, you bother them and make sure they're unhappy, like a pretend lying, bitchy, sketchy zombie girlfriend, and just kind of quietly uncomfortable near people like zombies who barely look at or talk to each other. But then, at lunch, I'll be free to run around and bother people and bother strangers like a zombie trying to make more. That's what I like to do. That's freedom. It's way better than being stuck quiet and uncomfortable and ugly and stressful and confusing near people. So much better to stretch your legs and run around and attack people and bother them like zombies. Hey, you. Yeah, I bumped into you. Huh? Hey, you. Yeah, I spazzed out and got you. Hey, you. Yeah, forced you to see me look ugly. Yeah, hey, you. I'm way better than hanging out for half an hour near somebody at lunch. Just hang out for half a second near somebody. Fuck them up, make them more zombie-like, and fuck off. And get on to the next person you want to turn into a zombie. Right? So, relative to that and what's going on with respect to that, this is sort of an antidote to that. Polite patriotism. Not just, hey, you bad guys, things suck. It's like, these are weak, fucked up people. They can't do shit. They can't even be nice to each other. How the fuck are they going to deal with that? Right? And not just be polite on its own, because it's like, well, that's the point. Oh, you think you're so special? Oh, Mr. Polite. No, they're related. Nice people, nice, helpful people in general, and then more confident and capable, nice, helpful people introducing more elements to the culture to make more nice, confident, capable, and helpful people who can do more where they live. And not have it be like, more worth bothering, the more you can do, the more helpful you are, the more nice and polite and confident and happy and badass you are. You're way worth more bothering and turning into a zombie. Ha! Okay, fine, forget it. No, nice, polite, confident, happy, helpful people can do anything for anybody. Just drop it, never mind. Just zombie, just done. Forget it. I've already proved over and over again that there is a market for something else in some bizarre way. So anyway, there you have it. So these are some points on that. Again, this video is called manforwars.com, Lessons Learned Battling 5,000 Zombies on Remembrance Day. Feel free to check out the Remembrance Day raw footage if you'd like. Feel free to support the manforwars.com efforts as you like, because this is just going to only do so much. But if you can see how much someone can do with more, then obviously you could do a hell of a lot more about this. So there's PayPal links below. There's direct deposit links below. Feel free to get in touch with any questions or answers, and subscribe and share. And if you want to take any chunks of this video and you want to put it out there because you think, well, that chunk is really cool, and like other people do with other people, feel free to. Otherwise, yeah, BK Black Krishna for manforwars.com. I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.